Yeah, man. So today we wanted to talk about, like, obviously with the holidays coming up and stuff like that. The biggest thing that we wanted to address is New Year's resolutions. And the big reason why we want to address those now is because we feel like if you watch Diamonds here today, the time to start is now. Like, I think as Ramond put, as Ramond put it before, waiting until the new year to start your goals is like just a sexy form of procrastination at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's why we want to address New Year's resolutions now as opposed to doing it on the first,
All
so that
right.
we can obviously go into 2024 with a mindset of just hitting the ground running, right? Like, why wait until the first to get started on what we want to accomplish when
Right.
we can start implementing those changes now. You know,
Right.
that looks like, if you had an amazing 2023, great. What do you plan on doing in 2024? If you had a terrible 2023, how do you want to change it in 2024? Like, just taking whatever you learned from this year and obviously from previous years and stuff like that and just applying it now as opposed to doing it on the first. When everybody, it always sounds good, it sounds sexy to be like, oh yeah, on the first I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, like, man, I'm gonna be a new me, I'm gonna be a new man, a new woman, whatever the case may be, a new day, whatever, like whatever it is that you want to be for, you can start doing it now. You can
No,
start.
it's true. It's fact. But the funny thing is, people just automatically assume that, oh, just because it's a new year, everything's just gonna magically change. If
Yeah,
you're someone who procrastinates throughout the year, bro, you've been procrastinating for like 12 months.
yeah,
January 1st, 2 weeks from now, you're not just gonna magically change and become focused. Those are the things that require work,
yep,
focus, dedication, planning. Because
yep,
one of the things I've been thinking about, most of the time we already know what to do, but we lack implementation, and that's why most of the time we don't get anything done. So I
yep.
think it's good that we're having this discussion right now because whoever's watching, we can gather as a team to elevate each other. So 2024 can be a better year, man. Because we got so much more we can contribute and do instead of just like playing it safe and being mediocre. So
Hmm.
that's the goal.
We ain't got no time for mediocrity, man.
Nah, we don't have stop,
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 Come on, quit
stop.
it, quit it, quit it.
quit it.
Around, quit horsing around, baby. There's no time like the present. I'm a firm believer in that. There's no time like the present, and there's no reason for us to wait until the first of the year. Now, granted, there are those people who are the anomaly that are like, yeah, I'm like on the first, like, man, I just like hit it, like, but it's just like that's probably like one out of every like 100,000 people. Like let's be honest, like
And
like
you're being kind. You're being kind. I was there with it.
That's you know what I'm
probably,
saying.
yeah, probably even more than that. Ultimately, at the end of the day, but as a big conversation that we were touching on recently, that a lot of people address. I know it's been addressed in books like Atomic Habits and stuff like that. Is really implementing systems in order to set yourself up for success. Uh, Things like motivation you can only rely on for so long, and coming
Right,
into the new year, I think a lot of people like to rely on motivation because it's just like you feel more motivated than ever, right? It's a new year,
right.
new opportunity, like the opportunity to start off with a clean slate. Whatever that looks like I said, however you want to set yourself up for 2024 and beyond. It's a great opportunity, but all those things you can start implementing now. Like, you don't have to wait until then. So that being said, what are your guys' New Year's resolutions, if you have any yet?
Right. I mean, before we start, before I answer that, I'm gonna talk about motivation, right? Because the funny thing is, a lot sometimes people might want to get something done, let's say a 20-minute task or a 20-minute work. However, bro, they would spend like hours on YouTube trying to find the right motivation video to
Yep.
get that task started. Like you just search like 3 hours to get the right
That's a
motivation
fact.
video to do something that's gonna cost you 20 minutes. Like I don't get it, bro. And one thing I have just overall listen to motivational messages. Most of the stuff they're the same message over and over. Like Zenas might be saying his a little different, Ramon might be saying his different than mine, but at the end of the day, we are saying the same thing. So instead of you like waiting for like the right message to like get you going, like
That's insane.
Yeah,
That is insane.
that isn't.
I gotta find
This,
the right motivational message to get me going, bro, and then spend like 2 hours not doing anything. You know, like Z talked about earlier, you just watch the video, then after a while, that motivation is gone, and now you need something else. It's like a crackhead. You need more to get going. But what we need is discipline, man. We need it's hard, but we need to just be disciplined. I think with self-discipline, we are able to accomplish anything, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about like my goals for 2024. Number one is I want to buy a house. I'm going to buy a house by the end
Yeah.
of 2024.
Speaking into existence. Speaking.
Yeah, but everything, you know, with the interest rates and all that, so I'm still being cognizant, paying attention to all that. And then personal fitness goal, bro, to like just be in a better shape, cardio, vascular fitness, because it's something I been working on a lot lately. So when I'm playing soccer, I'm not like I'm about to die.
Soccer's a
Bro,
lot of running, man. That's
it,
a
it,
lot of running, bro. That is
it
a lot.
is.
It's all running.
It is running,
Literally,
right?
100% running. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of kicking involved. You know what
Right,
I'm
it is.
saying?
Because the funny thing is, whenever you're in great shape, right, people just assume that, oh, you're just gonna go in the soccer field and just roll. And I know, bro, that's require a whole different level of training, right? Yeah, I'm in a great shape, but in
yeah.
order for me to be at an optimal level, I still need to like increase my cardio and all that. And then, bro, like number three, like business goals, man. I have some like financial like milestones I'm trying to hit in 2024. So those are the top three things I'm like, you know, that's on my mind right now for 2024, for sure.
Absolutely.
What about you? You guys?
Man, I'll hop in, man. One of my 2023 ones was, I mean, one of my 2024 ones was actually one of my 2023 ones that didn't happen. So,
Right.
that's how life goes, right?
Oh yeah,
So,
facts.
I definitely want to drop a new project next year, Seeds too. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? That's something I definitely, you know what I mean? That was like, it would be like the second edition of like, the favorite album that I've dropped, you know what I mean? So I
Right.
definitely want to, I want to release that this year. Um, I want to read 6 books this year. I did 4 this year. You know what I'm saying? So when you compare ones, you just want to level up the next year.
Right.
Definitely got to get back to the motherland, man. One way or another, man. Whether it's the trip with you, Diamond, or
Oh yeah.
back to the Hill Festival, and I want to help create the program with Hill Festival to bring more people out to go see Rwanda with us. You know what I mean? So that's a big one for me. I got a specific number that I want to hit in my stock account this year. You know what I mean? So I
Let's
got a
go.
specific number in my head. You know what I mean? That I want to hit there.
Yes, sir.
Um, and then I want to whether it's in the gym or not, I want to work out 3 to 4 times every week. You know what I'm saying? Being real, I wouldn't say 4 times, and then I want like at minimum 3. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. I love it.
Yeah.
yeah, man. Some basic things about me, Ben, but just to add
Right.
to what you were saying earlier, bro, with a lot of those, a lot of them, there's already pieces being done now to
Right.
hit them. You know what I mean? Whether
Right.
it's getting the books in the, you know what I'm saying? Figure out the books
Right.
that you want to read, whether it's working on some of the songs for the project later. You know what I mean? Like, just the biggest thing I think that to touch on is like, while you rolling into that is just, what I'm saying? Start on little shit now, bro. That should be important, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Start now.
Absolutely. Now,
Right.
stop procrastinating. Stop.
Stop.
Stop. Stop.
Stop.
Boy, stop. You know what I mean?
As for myself, I love it, man. I love to hear it. Similar to what you guys were saying, as far as fitness goes, I want to be in the best shape of my life. Point blank, period. I want to be in the best shape of my life ever in 2024. I've accomplished great things in fitness in the past, but I want to blow those. I want to blow those things out of the water. I want to be in the best shape of my life in 2024. All I need is a 4-pack. I don't need a 6-pack. I just need the 4.
A
I
four
just
piece.
That's it. Maybe that's all I need. That's all I need.
A 4 piece and a biscuit, boy.
Maniac. I ain't trying to go for the 6. Give me the 4. Give me the box
that,
combo.
that box combo, huh?
Yeah, he said it for it.
Box combo, baby.
You
I ain't
got
mad at it.
4. You got it, Z. He
So
said it
being in
4.
the best shape of my life ever, in 2024, I think that's a big thing for me. And obviously, I think where you are in your fitness life and just like how you feel about yourself, it obviously translates into like a lot of like other aspects of your life too. So that being said, I also want to hit a specific amount of funds in my savings, and I mean that both between like my savings accounts and my investment accounts. You know,
For
like
sure.
I want to be in six figures. You know, like between both of those accounts. You know, like easy. You know, like so. I think that's a big thing for me. Aside from that, I definitely plan to drop 2 albums next year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
Let's go.
really
Let's
excited.
go.
And then want to read 12 books. So 1 book a month. That's my plan, to read 1 book a month next year. And then also just to connect with as many people in New York City as possible, and really just build my network, but also attending. My goal is to attend 3 to 4 conferences next year, whatever those may look like. I know there's one that we
Good
might
one.
be in January, you know,
Right. That's a
podcast.
good one.
So, but I want to attend at least 3 to 4 conferences next year. You know, just something that's within our industry, and something that I feel like can help me progress, just as, you know, like whether that be in the fitness realm, in the financial realm, in the music realm, whatever that is, just ways to better myself. You know, like, and here in New York City, I feel like there's always something going on. There's always some kind of stuff like that. And so I want to attend at least 3 to 4 of those next year.
That's
And
fire.
outside of that, that's pretty much it, man. I think that's pretty much it for as far as my resolutions for next year.
Right.
But
I know you got some DJ. You got some DJ ones.
oh yeah. So like, well, okay, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. Like with DJing, I want to have at least 2 residencies. So like um at least have like 2 residencies where I'm spending at this particular place every week. Like on this Thursday, you know, like I'm spending at here. On Friday, I'm spending at here. Now eventually, like I'd like to get up to like 3 or 4 residencies, you know, like where I'm like
Right.
stuff like that. But I think that's a big goal of mine, is like to start off with those 2 residencies and just build from there. But
Mhm.
piggybacking off of that, P and I have a particular idea that we have in mind, just as far as a tour that we want to like kind of put together. So I'm really excited to build upon that, you know, like, and really see if we can like make that something that's very much a tangible thing, you know, in 2024. I think we have the ability to do it, and I think kicking it off ideal, because we also have something else that, you know, like is in the works. Just as far as in the alcohol realm, you know, kind
Right.
of.
I
Um,
got real.
once we can unveil all of that, I really look forward to, you know, like sharing more news about that. But for now,
Right.
I'm just looking at staying as focused and motivated and disciplined as possible, and just trying to take the world by storm, man. That's why I moved to New York City, and I'll tell you, man, since I've been here, I don't know if I've ever felt more uh, just inspired. It's like, I think that's just the overall sentiment, just inspired.
Right. And
That's fire.
let's go to the comment. Marco said, "I would love to read 20 books, not the top of your mind, but I do enjoy learning and growing. And by the end of 2024, I want to hit 1 mil in sales and stay more in touch with those few friends, those few I call friends."
That's
Marco,
fire.
those are great, bro. I love it, man. I think that's
That's
amazing.
fire. One
I
milli,
believe
man,
you can
go
do it.
crazy, man.
Well,
Yeah.
Amelie,
Now, if
Amelie,
anybody could
Amelie.
do it, it's Marco, man. And we got a
Yes.
couple people that in here. I think Z might have dropped off, but
Right.
I talked to him about this. But for the people that are in here that do have a goal to either read or just, you know, some people listen to books, man. I just found this out. I want to just drop a gem on everybody that's listening. Spotify now has audio books on it, man.
Yeah.
Somebody told me that at work the other day. I was like, that's nuts, right? So so pretty much I couldn't find a book on there that I couldn't find either, man. So you can make playlists of books now. You know what I mean? So if y'all got Spotify, that's what y'all listen to. And if y'all like audio books, and that's the play that you can make, man. You know what I'm saying? To help you get through more books, if that's how you like. I actually never tried it myself. You know what I
Right.
mean? But now that it's on Spotify and I got Spotify, it's gonna be worth at least just throwing it on the scene. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, man. So for y'all that got on your New Year's resolutions, if y'all got some books on there, man, Spotify might have made it easy for y'all, man. Even though they be playing
Right.
artists, even though they
Right.
be playing artists on their streams, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Even though they be playing artists, so
I mean, if you're in here, drop your New Year's goals in the comment. I'm just curious to see what everyone's trying to accomplish. But like I was
Yeah.
gonna ask you guys, this question though. Reflecting back on your goals for 2023, right? What are some of the reasons you think you didn't accomplish those goals that you wrote down? What are some of the reasons?
Speaking for myself specifically, I honestly just think truly it just boiled down to like a lack of discipline. You know, I think
Right,
the big thing is just like, um, I think I got wide-eyed in the sense of like I probably had too much on my plate, and like you know,
right.
I tried to put too much on my plate. There was only so much that I could consume, and I was like, damn, you know, like I was eating with my eyes, not with like
That's a fact.
I was not being realistic about it. And so I think, but I'm not saying that like all of my goals weren't attainable. You know, like
Right,
had I set myself up in the right systems and the ability of just setting myself up for success, I think I could have. But I
right.
think overall the lack of discipline is what led to me not accomplishing those things.
I agree.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Diamond, can you post that? I'm about to hop into mine. You mind posting that like as a and pinning it, just like the for everybody to drop their New Year's goals, the New Year's resolutions. Um,
Good.
but a few reasons that I didn't hit mine that I gotta tap. Shout out to Hanifa too. She said, "Dang, I feel like Z's telling my business." Same, bro. It's hilarious. I was about to say the same thing, man. I was about to say the same exact thing, and I think Marco said this earlier. Pig-headed discipline, bro.
Yeah.
Pig-headed discipline, bro.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. It's really like just really like not locking into certain things. I will say just, having certain goals, I probably knocked out more more than I didn't. You know what I mean?
Right,
But I think the discipline of like one thing I wanted to make a resolution was to look at my goals every week, at least once a week. You know
right,
what I mean? Just because sometimes you just kind of forget what you even like promised yourself that you wanted to do. You know what
right.
I'm saying? So I think that's a piece that sometimes I get away from you. And then I mean, I really don't have too much to bring outside of what Z said, just kind of
Right,
getting wide
right,
eyed on certain things. And you know what I mean? And
right.
other things pop up. That's the thing that is hard to plan for is like what pops up during that year.
Yeah.
You know what I
Facts.
mean? That blocks this other thing, right? Like if you got three things you're trying to balance and two of these is really working, you just might lose sight of the third one. So
Yeah.
that's
Right,
you just might not hit that one, that pillar. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
that's a big thing too, man. Is like, but I think it's cool because as the years go on, you realize really what the things that you actually want to do, people
right.
that you actually want to be around. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? What you want your life to look like. So then, you know what I mean? The resolutions are like more catered to what you actually want to do instead of just saying
Right.
shit because it sounds cool. You know what I mean?
It's a
Absolutely.
So
fact. I love it, Remind. One thing
yeah,
you
bro.
mentioned though, like not having like reviewing your goals every day or like every week, right? Because I believe
Yeah,
that if you don't have a target, there's
Hmm.
nothing for you to hit at. So most
Yeah.
of the time that we have these goals, we write them down, let's say January 1st, but we never actually go back to reflect and actually see what we wrote down. And then as time goes by, we forget about these goals and we don't put in the time and effort and discipline to get them done. And also sometimes for me is like I realized that some of the goals that I wrote down, I didn't really want one of those goals that bad.
that's
Yeah.
a fact.
Because sometimes we just write stuff that is all about how bad do you want it. Because I feel like if you really want something bad, if that's something that you really want, you're gonna do whatever it takes to accomplish those things. And sometimes for me, like I just need to write goals down, right? So
Yeah.
my strategy going to 2024 is a little different. Now I'm gonna like reflect
Yeah.
on my life and realize what do I really want to accomplish.
Absolutely.
Is this something I want to do? I'm not just writing it down because I just want to have something on a piece of paper, or is
Yeah.
something I really want to do. I think whenever we make that decision in regards to what we really want, I think we put in our time and effort
Yeah.
into working on those things, even though when things get hard and things get difficult.
Absolutely. And piggybacking off of that, to that point, I think we should start treating our goals and our overall discipline and our focus like we should treat our investment accounts, right? Like, you know,
Facts.
when it comes to stocks, right? You don't want to be in too like you don't want to have 100 different stocks and maybe only have like two of each.
Three shares.
You know, like you only got like two of
Diamond, you taught me that. Diamond, you was the first person to tell me that. You was
I
looking at
sure
my
did.
stock account and you was like, bro, you got a lot of stocks, bro. Like, what are you doing, brother? So that's a fact, Z. That's
I
a fact,
appreciate
Z.
it.
we need to treat our we need to invest in ourselves just like we invest in the market, you know, like kind of thing.
Fact.
At the end of the day, you got to be laser focused and as
Right.
to having, like 27 different. Why not just have 5 or 6 stocks that you truly believe in and that you're
Right.
like you stand behind through anything in, and you just
Right.
put all of your effort into that. Like at the end of the day, it's just these very few. It may be as small as 3 or 4, but I'm
Right.
everything that I can into this because I believe in it so much. And
Fact.
that's how I think we also need to approach, our overall focus and our goals. At the end of the day, we need to invest into ourselves just like we invest in the market.
Right.
Be-
No, it's
That's
true because
fire.
that point you made is so valid, Z. Because if you just have like 3 or 4 companies that you believe in, now you have more time to learn about the company. Now you have more time
It's
to
a fact.
read and
Mhm.
understand the financials and understand, look at the balance sheet, see how the company is performing. But if you have like 20 or 50 companies, how are you gonna go through everything? Like, how? So
You
at the end of the
can't.
day,
Yeah,
it's
To
really
to connect it even
impossible.
more, Z said he wanted to go to conferences, right? If there were 6 things that he wanted to, you know what I'm saying? 6 things he was focusing on. Maybe it was podcasting, maybe it was he could probably go to a DJ conference, a
Right.
podcast conference, you know what I mean? Like but you can't go to 50 conferences, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that even that, bro, is like once you kind of narrow that down, you even meet more people in those spaces. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So that's important, bro.
Yeah, because everything is opportunity cost, right? Because at the end of the day, in order to do something, you have to be given time for something else, right? Because we're on live right now. We can't be, we could probably be in the gym, but we can't be doing something else while we're here right now. I think
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah,
like the
yeah, yeah.
same mindset that applies to your goals, right? I think just by having a structure and narrow, it's easier for you to like work on. And
yeah,
most of the time,
Mhm.
bro, like I think for me, what I'm gonna do in 2024 is like do a weekly reflection, like go throughout the week, every week and go back and reflect on that week and see how I did in regards to my goals. And now what I'm trying to do different is my daily to do tasks are kind of like connected with my goals. So all the goals I'm trying to do, like the things I'm doing every day, are connected to those goals because I believe by me being disciplined and doing these things every day is going to help me achieve those goals. So that's something for sure that I've been trying to implement, do different going into 2024.
mhm.
That's fire.
Because if the old method didn't work, that means like if you try that in 2024, you're gonna get the same result. So now it's like now it's like you have to like switch it up. You gotta find ways to make that a little different.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't know, that's my mindset going into this new year, bro.
Yeah. And I think that's important too, is to be adaptable, right? Like staying focused on like whatever that goal is, like, but if the way that you're approaching that goal isn't working for you, you have the ability to change it. It's like there's no reason that you can't change your approach, like kind of thing. And I
Yeah.
think some people are lost in that sometimes, that it's just like, no, I have to do this particular way. And sometimes like the universe just doesn't have it cut out that way. Like, you gotta pivot, and
Right.
keep in mind.
And another thing I realized is most of the reason why we don't accomplish those things because we start, but we don't do it for a long period of time in order for us to like figure it out. For example,
Mhm.
fitness, right? We will start like, oh, I want to do this, I want to get in shape, but we only go to the gym for 3 months, and then we realize, damn, I'm not getting the result that I want because you only did it for 3 months. Damn it, you didn't follow through throughout the year, like
He
we
said,
talked about
damn it.
earlier.
I did it for 3 months, damn it.
For real. I think the consistency part, man, because most of the time we want instant results. We just want quick
Mhm.
fix to everything, right? But as I'm starting to like learn, most of the time, unless you get lucky, things doesn't happen overnight. It takes time,
Yeah.
effort. You got to be conscious about it, and it's
Hmm.
okay to like learn and fail. But most of the time, we don't want to go through that hardship to like
Yeah.
fail and then relearn and then pivot and try to figure it out to get to the final destination. We just want to get there.
Yeah. Absolutely. Having patience is a hard thing. It really is. But at the end of the day, if you believe in something enough and you want something to happen bad enough, you got to see it through. And I feel like a lot of people get discouraged so easily. Like for instance, if you in your weight loss, if you do want to lose weight, or if you want to get in shape, if you want to get bulky, or whatever it is that you want to do, everyone's body is different too. Like, I think we get caught up in that comparisons, right? Like where it's just
Right,
like, I'm never gonna look how Diamond looks like that because we don't have the same genetics, we don't have the same build.
right,
Like I'm
right,
not gonna ever look how like P looks, because we're
right,
differently, kind of thing. And so um, I think ignoring like the comparisons and just like truly focusing on yourself, like blocking out all distractions, like it's just I'm not sitting here scrolling looking at like The Rock every day, and it was just like, dang, like, you know, like I need to be. Now, don't get me wrong, you do need that for inspiration sometimes. Like you know, like if I'm feeling like I really needed a lot of motivation, I'm gonna go to Diamond's page because I know Diamond went to the gym today. So I'm like, all right, now I'm gonna go to the gym because Diamond went to the gym today. You know, kind of thing. You do need that inspiration sometimes, but I think people fall victim to that, like just always wanting to compare themselves to, like, well, this person lost, you know, 37 pounds in 3 months. Why can't I do that? And it's just like, you know, you also, they weren't just going to the gym. They probably were eating like at a like 100-calorie deficit. You know, they were like, they didn't go out and drink. They didn't party. They didn't do nothing. Like, you know, like there's also factors that you have to take in that you're not aware of. You know, like a lot of people just think it worked out, and it's just like, no, there's so many other factors and stuff like that. And so at the end of the day, just trusting the process and just, you know, seeing it through.
Right. But
that's nice.
My question, how important it is to like write down your goals? Because before, that's something I never did, right? And how important it is, you think, to like write down your goals, to just write it down, piece of paper or like on your phone, whatever. Like, how important you think that is?
I think it's life changing, bro. I think to be honest, it's like the difference between it happening and not, damn near. To me, you know what I'm saying? Because I honestly look at it like how many thoughts we have in a day, like unlimited, right? So just even make it like creating a thought and then taking the time to write it down, and then you have it in a place that you can look back at it. So it's not only like you take the time to take that thought and then write it down somewhere else. Actively writing it down helps you remember it. And then after that, you have it in a place that like you can look back at and it reminds you. You know what I'm saying? So I think just like those pieces alone can help make it real, because it's like, you know, you wanted to do it, you wrote it down, you know, you wanted to do it enough where you wrote it down. Then you see it looking back at you if you put it in a place that you see or look at every day. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's the difference of doing it or not. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just don't do something because you forgot. You know what I mean? But if you wrote it down, you might not have forgot. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I think sometimes it's the difference. You know what I mean?
Right.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think it's just sometimes that constant reminder, like, let's say you have a journal, you know, I have my journal right now. My goal is to write in this every day, you know, like kind of thing.
Right there with you, boy. You know what I'm saying?
If I write them same 3, 4, 5 goals, whatever it is, every day, you know, in my notes section of this journal, it's a constant reminder, you know, like, it's just like, at the end of the day, you're not letting anybody else down but yourself at the end of the day. Like, every day that I write this down and I'm not working towards these goals that I'm writing down every day, you're not disappointing anybody but yourself, you know, like kind of thing. I think extra layer of commitment to yourself, that it's just like, it's visualizing it, it's writing it down, it's implementing it. It's just like, okay, what did I not do today that I can do tomorrow? You know, like, what did I do not last week? The following day, you know, like, and kind of things. And it's just, I just think it's that extra layer of accountability, you know, kind of thing, like, that you need sometimes, like, that just like voice in your head, you know, like your voice, but it's just like, dang, like, you know, like, I do need to be on this, and that truly is the game changer, you know. I think, just like you said, Diamond, earlier, to your point, is sometimes we write down our goal one time and then just forget about them, like, you know, like writing these things down daily, weekly, like, you know, like, whatever the case may be. If you're reviewing your goals monthly, however frequently you choose to review them, it is important to revisit them, because at the end of the day, we get so caught up in life and get tunnel vision, and, you know, like I said earlier, sometimes life just happens, and it's just like, you know, like, your all attention gets diverted elsewhere, and it's just like, dang, like, you know, I completely forgot about this. But when you're reminding yourself each and every day, or, you know, like, weekly, monthly, whatever that looks like, it's just that constant refresher of like, okay, yeah, let me get back on track, you know, like, because it is easy to get off track, especially like adulting is real, like real, you know. So like, sometimes you get off track, man, but I think it's important to do things like, it's those little things that make a big difference in bringing us back to the core of where we need to be, you know, so that we can focus on becoming our best selves, you know, stepping into the full potential of ourselves, baby.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna go to the
I was gonna say, some of those comments, man. Let me hit Marcos real quick,
go ahead,
just because he said it's important to write down your entire day. And when I read that,
Yeah.
I had seen a thing that just one time that said like you either schedule your day or let your day schedule you. You know what I'm saying? And how many times like if you ain't got nothing on your schedule, somebody just call you and you end up just doing that. You know what I mean? Because like you know what I mean. You didn't have nothing else to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you don't schedule your day will schedule you. So I felt that, Marco.
Where'd that come? I ain't never heard that, but
That was
that's
a
a
bar, right?
That's a bar.
What's his name? CEO Matty J, I think. You know what I'm saying?
If you don't,
Yeah.
they will schedule you. That's a bar. That's a
Come
bar.
on, man. Come on, big bar, man.
And Gracie says very important. There's a study that shows you have a 70% higher chance of accomplishing your goals if you write it down.
Yeah.
That's fact.
It's facts, man. Like
70%.
70.
It makes sense too.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, you know, like we talked about, it's also, I think goals like writing it down, like having a navigation system, right? Like if I try to like drive to New York, I'm sure I can figure it out at some point, but maybe it might take me a long ass time, you know, I might get lost. But once you have a navigation, right? I think by writing your goals down, having a plan, to me, that's a navigation process. It makes it a lot easier. Now you know what you're working on. Now you know, all right, maybe I have to do things a little different and work my way into getting that done. And one thing you mentioned, we've been, you know, Marco mentioned like planning a day, bro. We've been doing that. I know we talked about it during our weekly meeting. Bro, that been a game changer for me, bro. Like every day when I write down my to do for the night, then schedule like we talked about before, have time for everything. It's a lot easier during the day because now I have a map, I have a plan. When I wake up, I know what needs to get done that day. I'm not like, oh my God, what should I do right now? I know when I wake up, I gotta hit the gym or do yoga, you know. So it just makes it a lot easier and effortless. That way you can like navigate throughout the day and know what you need to do instead of like just being all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, side note, this just came to me because you just Diamond mentioned yoga. That's another one of my New Year's resolutions. More flexible, baby. I gym with Austin the other day. My hips, oh my! I was just like, what is going on? Like, I was trying to do overhead squats, bro. I was like, oh no, man! Like my
things just locked up on you, huh?
My hips was lying. My hips was lying. My hips was lying.
That's nuts.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so, and also one thing, man, like just like for me, it's like lately it's like honoring your word. Whatever you write down, you have to hold yourself accountable to get that done. You know, because at the end of the day, if you write something down, if you don't do it, then you're like, damn, I'm a bullshitter, right? Because you know, sometimes like I understand life happens, you have to pivot and change. But I believe that if we make that commitment to ourselves and like, whatever we write down, we're gonna hold ourselves accountable over time. Now you like build that discipline. Now you're true to yourself. Now you're committed, right? Because if sometimes you tell your friends stuff, right? Some people, if they tell their friends, if they give their friends their word, even though they're tired, they will still honor their word. So why don't you do the same with yourself?
Yeah.
You told yourself you're gonna do something. Now you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh shoot, nobody to hold me accountable. I guess I can slack today.
Yeah.
But if you don't do that with other people, why do you do it with yourself? That means like for me, it's like I'm loyal. Like sometimes like damn, you don't respect yourself because you say you're gonna do that and you're not doing it. So I think over time you just become a liar, right? Because like you say you're gonna do one thing and you're not doing it, and I think over time you lose confidence, you lose that ability to like get stuff done. So I think it's very, very important. Whenever we write those things down, we honor it. Unless something, you know, drastic comes up and we're not able to do it no more.
Yeah.
No, that's big, bro.
Let's see.
For some reason, I can't. But
you can see the comment.
Yeah, Hanifa said the scheduling play. You know, CEO Matty J. I don't know if y'all know him, man. He's everything he does. He puts it in he says it's a play, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? The buy a new shirt play, whatever it is. But you know, that's what Hanifa's touching on, man. The scheduling play. You know what I mean? The scheduling play, bro. That's important, man. It's super important, bro.
That's something.
That's another piece I wanted to add real quick to that. Is as we was talking about that. That's one thing with y'all I want to make a commitment to too, man, with just seeing where this could go, is if we can do every week, bro, that's only 52 times. If we could do this every month, we since we started this, we've been on here every Monday. You know what I'm saying? So we're not perfect at anything, but we've been here on time every Monday. I want to see if we could do that all year. You know what I'm saying? What's that look like after a year, bro? We don't. It's only 52 times. You know what I'm saying? But we could. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what that looks like, bro.
Yeah. And that's why I'm really excited to, like, you know, potentially hit this. Not potentially. I'm going. You know, I'm going to this podcast. next month, but that's why I'm excited to just like learn little games about like how we can improve upon things like this, just moving forward too, because like I truly enjoy this, and like I feel like a lot of people have taken a lot from this as well, kind of thing. But I think this has helped a lot with just holding ourselves accountable a lot, and I can speak
For
that
sure.
I can volumes to that for myself, too. But when you guys talk about the scheduling play, like I just I'm more of a newcomer to like the whole scheduling play. Like I've never really been the one to like ever really like plan out my day, kind of thing. And so like
Right.
I've realized how much of a game changer it is, and how important it is, and that's why I have a reminder on my phone at 10:30 every night that I'm gonna schedule my day the following day. Like like I have it set up, and it truly it helps you in so many ways that like I just didn't even like realize, like just with just the littlest things, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like for instance, like I always forget whenever I go grocery shopping, I would always forget my grocery list. Like I would always like I would it was like
Right.
write it down, and I would always forget my grocery list, and it was just like it's just so frustrating, like kind of thing. But now I have it in my phone, so it's just like like, and then I have it set to a reminder like, hey, when you go to the grocery store, now it's in my phone, so I have no excuse, like I got my grocery list. So it's just little things like that make a huge difference.
Right, and think about it, even like the grocery list, bro, it makes things a lot easier because now you're at the store, you're not just carried away by everything you see, right? Because you have a
Yeah.
focus, you have a purpose. I think just having it down is like a purpose. You're not distracted by everything else you see. But imagine you have a grocery, oh, maybe I should get this, maybe I should get that.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like how important it is to just structure everything. So what about accountability though, right? Is it like how like do you hold yourself accountable, right? How do you do that? What's how important it is to have like a support group, kind of like what we're doing, right? Because for me overall, I think what we've been doing, bro, it's been really helpful. Because at the end of the day, good to hear Ramond, oh, this is how I do things a different way, and
Mhm.
Zenas, and okay, then after when I sit and I can like add everything together and
Yeah.
create my own way of doing things. So how important it is, you think, having accountability group in 2024?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start. I think it's imperative, honestly, like because what I've come to realize is just like like we only know so much, like, but everyone has like insight to offer, just like you said, Diamond, you think about things a particular way, Pete thinks about things a particular way. So when we all like bring like, collaborate on things, and like, like when we're working on figuring out what the subject might be for the next motivation Monday, or excuse me, the manifest Monday, and stuff like that, we have all these ideas that we can bounce off of each other. And I've always believed that a collaborative effort yields the best results, kind of thing. So it helps in bringing like even more ideas to life, but it also helps with accountability too, because it's like we can like hold each other accountable. Like we can help be that extra layer that we need to be like, hey, like like you need to go post today, or you need to go do this.
Right, right,
Before, when you don't have that, when you're just relying on yourself, even if you're the most self-motivated person, like there's moments where you just like feel unmotivated, and you just like like you feel gas, or you feel tapped, whatever the case may be, but you have that person or those people to help pick up the slack, and like help give you that little kick in the ass when you need it, sometimes, like, hey, like like nah, get back on your shit, kind of thing. And so
That's perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's imperative, honestly.
right.
Yeah, bro. Pretty much the same thing. But I honestly think that it honestly would probably be beneficial for everybody to like do their New Year's goals with a little group, no matter who that
Facts,
is. You know what I'm saying? Just
facts.
because, and then like something I've noticed too is even having it maybe in a shared document to
Yep.
even add to the accountability.
Mm,
If you got your accountability group, we got little stuff that we do with the with these lives that we all on the same thing of whether it's Z scheduling this week, or Diamond scheduling hosting the podcast this week, or figuring out who's doing what on it. Sometimes it's all being in a shared space helps the accountability of things, because everybody knows what everybody said they was going to do. You know what I
facts.
mean? So like you said, like Diamond, sometimes you don't want to lie to the homies as opposed to lying
Right,
yourself.
right,
It might be a goal for yourself that your homies can see. So you still
facts.
might not want to lie to the homies, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right, right,
so
right,
that might help you in that, you know what I mean?
right.
So, and then
Yeah.
another piece I was just gonna add was when we was talking about scheduling, I didn't want to backtrack too much, but just that puts deadlines on things. And
Right.
sometimes shit doesn't get done because we act like it's just, there's no
Never
end
ever.
time.
Yeah.
There's
Yep.
no end time, man. And I wanted to connect that to what, you know, my cousin said in here. She said, I'm a planner to the point that I break down my yearly goal by quarter. So it's easier to wrap my mind around. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm saying is like putting deadlines on things and breaking it down like that probably really like paints a picture of what needs to happen. You can
Mhm.
say, I
That's
want
it.
to make this amount or save this amount. But if
Right.
you know, this year, but if you break it down by quarter, you know what I need to do every week to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Right.
so that's important, bro. That's important
Right.
to break a whole year thing down into
Right.
quarters, to weekly things, even daily things. You know what I'm saying? So that's just important, bro.
No, I think that's a good point, having a deadline. Because sometimes if you don't have a deadline, you just have the entire time to procrastinate and not get stuff done. Even at work, right? Most of the time when you have a project, that's why you have a deadline. You got to get this done by a certain time. I think whenever you have a deadline, our mind are just inclined, okay, I have something. Now you feel that little bit of stress. It's not always bad to feel stressed, but now that stuff stress will like push you to get it done.
Right.
Instead of like, oh, I'm gonna get it done. When?
Yeah.
Oh,
When?
I'm gonna
When?
lose weight, 10 pounds. I think we have to be more specific, right? Like you talked about, like for when it comes to finance, we need to have that number that we're trying to hit. When it comes to
Yeah.
weight fitness, we have to have that number. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have that, bro,
Yep.
you're not gonna be that focused. And also going back to the topic about accountability, I think it's very, very important, right? Having like-minded individual. Like today, this morning I was at the gym at 6 a.m. and I hit up Ryan. I'm like, bro, wake your ass up out of the gym, you know? And he was like, bro, why you calling at 5 a.m.? And then after that, he was like, bro, you motivated me to wake up and I'm at the gym,
Yeah.
you know? So I
Yeah.
think just having people around you who want something similar as you is easier for you to like put in the
Mm-hmm.
gym. Because at the end of the day, like Z gonna hold me accountable if I'm not getting doing stuff I want to do. Ramond's gonna hold me accountable. Vice versa. I would
Yeah.
check on Z. Like, hey, bro, did you stretch? Did you hit the gym? Do you
Yeah.
need help? I think just having people around you who want the same goals or who are trying to be better makes it a
Yeah.
lot easier for you to like work hard and accomplish your goals.
Yeah. And what I've even come to realize about us just doing this and like us having our weekly meetings and stuff like that is it's also important because coming together like in like creating those opportunities to where it's just like, okay, maybe we should set up like, like a weekly call to do this, or maybe we should set up like a weekly, like Zoom meeting to do this and those types of things. Like it's one thing to just like call someone. Like
Right.
what I realized that's made a game changer in things, and this was actually P's idea, is just like we're just gonna do Zoom meetings for everything, like it's just there's something about it that just makes it feel a little bit more real, makes it feel a little
Right.
more professional, like we're actually doing something, we're being productive with our time, like we're not just sitting on, like granted, we just sit on the phone and have the exact same conversation, but now it's like, hey, I could share my screen, I can exactly what I'll be doing, like with this, like this, I found this
Mm-hmm.
helpful and stuff like that. And so I think it's just important, like it's just those like little things, and just like and like I said, a collaborative effort yielding the best results is just like, I think when you start approaching things from a team mindset, it's just like, all right, bro, like how can we all help each other be better, like what do we need to
Right.
do, hold each other accountable, like it just it inspires you even more to just be like, all right, yeah, like we all are gonna need to be on it, kind of thing. So I think that's super important, and it's helped immensely, man. I can't even speak words to how much it's helped
That's a fact.
And then we'll go to the comments. Caston said, my New Year's resolution was to do everything I usually do better than I usually do. So what do you do, Cass?
me.
Be more specific.
You gotta say it
Man,
like
just
he did too. He might have meant it like he wrote it. He might do everything I do better than I usually does. You know,
like a
you
verse,
feel me?
like a
You know what I'm saying?
But side note, backtracking on what you said, Diamond, don't you ever call me at 5 a.m. talking about going to the gym. I will slap your ass to the floor.
I'll call you Z.
Like, bro, I
No, I
think,
call him Seattle time, bro. Like he was like, you like, bro, why you call me? And then he was like, yeah, I'm already up. So I'm like, cause he wakes up, I know he wakes up early. So I was like, hey, bro, I'm up at the gym at 6 a.m. Wake up, bro. Cause in Africa, right, we would like work out. We would do all that. We'll go, go out and work out. So like, and there, he told me that was the most. He was in the best shape ever. Being in Africa, cause we would wake up and fast, right? We'll wake up and not eat till like noon. Then we eat with like one meal a day, and then just go on the beach and chill. So I was like, yeah, bro, wake up, man. You're like, yeah, bro, I gotta like slack you a little bit. So yeah, I call him. But yeah, man, he went this morning, and I told him about kind of like what we've been doing, like how we structure our days, and
Yeah.
like just writing things down, like having a time for everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
there are some times I don't do everything at that specific time.
Yeah.
However, by having that down, I still get it done. Like today, I got almost like everything done, bro. Like I
Yeah.
worked out, I read, I did stuff for the business, I did my work, and now I'm here on Manifest Monday Live. It's
Mhm.
just a lot easier, bro. So it's just like having that structure, man, makes things a lot easier to get
Absolutely.
to go to that next level.
What just to kind of piggyback off what we've been talking, what's something if y'all find yourself falling off, what I'm saying, of certain goals, or what I'm saying, getting off track of certain things, what's a plan that you could kind of put in place to kind of like pivot? Because there's some things that I think after a while of doing it, we realize we might not want to do it, and that's
Right,
cool too. That's cool sometimes too. You don't want to do that to everything, but sometimes you got
right.
to do it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So what's y'all plan of pivoting or like getting back on track with certain things? What's some things y'all want to do this year to like either lock back in on certain things or be like, you know what, I'm cool with not doing this so I could do that more.
Yeah.
Right.
What's y'all plan?
I
Yeah.
mean, for me, like we talked about earlier, like figuring out what's really important to you and what do you want to accomplish, right? Because sometimes, like I said, we just make a list of things we want to do, but then after a while, like you realize, man, I don't really want to do it, right? Because at the end of the day, you're not really gonna do something if you don't really want to do it. So I think it all comes down with your mindset. Like if you really want to do, because some goals that I wrote last year, bro, I realized, like, man, I don't want to do this goal. It's not because I lack the days. I mean, sometimes you like, you procrastinate. But sometimes pivoting is like realizing like what you really want. For me, it's like I have like the top three goals. For me, it's like fitness, business, and all that. Like,
Did he cut out for you, Z?
Yeah. He cut out for me.
can you hear me?
We can hear you
Yeah, I
now.
hear you now. Yeah.
No, I was saying like whenever I get off track, bro, like I just try to like go like you said, man, go back and read my and reflect on my goals. Like why am I not doing this, right? And sometimes you realize maybe it's not something that you want to do. And then sometimes you realize, man, I'm just bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just and like you're
I'm
like
just bullshit.
I'm just being a procrastinator. Like I want to do this, but I'm not just willing to put in the work. So it all comes down to how bad do you want it, right?
Yeah.
Because and if you're not doing it, to me, it's like you don't want it back. Because if
Yeah.
you look at other aspects of your life, things that you're showing up for, you want to get those things done. That's why you're doing it. Like we all have 24 hours in a day. So if you're willing to like allocate your time to something specific, to me it means you want that more than if you don't really want to do that. Because at the end of the day, we
Yeah.
all like because there's some people, bro, they make time for their job, they make time for other people, but they don't make time for like business or the gym. To me, it's like you value those other things more than the other one. So you're gonna make time for people and things that you value the most. So for me, I realized maybe those other goals I don't really care about it that much. Or
Yeah.
sometimes like I'm just bullshitting. I don't really, you know, I'm being lazy.
Yeah. I think for me, like what I'm gonna do is like start implementing an accountability partner. Like because I think it's always easier to accomplish something when you have somebody who's like they might not be going through the exact same thing that you might be doing, but if you have somebody who's committed to like a similar purpose or like just like overall just want like when you find yourself in those moments, because regardless of what it is, like so for instance, when it comes to social media, I don't enjoy posting on social media, kind of thing,
Right,
but like, I know that I need to do it because like it's important,
right,
just in regards to algorithms and just overall trajectory of where you want to go in life, especially in the industry that we're in. So that's why I think when you find yourself in those moments, I'm gonna just like call up P like, man, I don't feel like doing this. Like I just like what do I gotta do? Like, like kind of thing. And I think just like when you actually have those conversations out loud, like not just with yourself, like you're obviously internally having this conversation, like, dang, I really don't feel like doing this. But when you actually call that person and be like, man, I don't feel like doing this, like, I know, bro, but you got to do it though. Like,
right.
Mhm.
like, you're right. I do need to do it. Like, so like, let me just go ahead and do it, kind of thing. So I think implementing that is going to help, leaps and bounds, kind of thing. So, on December 18th, 9:57 Eastern time, I'm officially dubbing P as my accountability partner, whether he likes it or not.
Let's
I'm,
go. Let's go, man. Come on,
I'm,
man.
Bro, I love
I'm
it.
like,
I
dude, like,
appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying?
I'm tagging my man in. I'm like, all right.
Come on, man.
like,
Right.
Let's go. Lock back in. You know what I'm
but
saying?
Yeah.
like, just like just having that additional person. Because like, you know, for instance, like I know a lot of people like to have an accountability partner, like even if it's like their spouse or like, you know, like a friend, like if you're trying
Right.
to get better, like, you know, like it's always easier to do that with someone else. Like, you know, because they're going to help. Like I saw that you ordered that cheeseburger, you don't burger. It's like, all right.
I saw it. I watched the story.
I seen it.
Man, like, all right. Like, you know, so I think it's just always easier to do something. It always makes something a little bit easier when you have somebody to help bounce that idea off of, or to just help hold you accountable. I think it is.
Right. I mean,
I'm gonna go into Caston's comment because it's actually what I was what I was gonna add to the conversation too.
right.
He said, small wins create momentum. If the things you are really struggling with seem daunting, it's nice to apply to a smaller win and keep that momentum going forward. And that's what I was kind of gonna say too. I was gonna say
Right.
like something that's been helping me a lot lately is just reminding myself is that little shit that I don't want to do is connected to the bigger shit that I want to get done.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I just, you know, those little reminders is so big, bro. Like down to like, you know, like we set on the goal to really like post 5 days a week. Do I
Mm-hmm.
like to post the 5 days a week? Hell
Right.
nah. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I just be thinking like it's a very small thing to a
Right.
big thing of me not having to work.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the
Right.
big thing is I don't want to work, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
if like a small thing every day, like
Right.
posting is like, you know what I'm saying, is like, and I just look at it like pretty much marketing for everything that I'm going to be putting out moving forward. And me and Z
Right.
have a lot of like things we're going to be, you know, really turning this music to a business this upcoming year, and we're working on new
Right.
models. And to do that and just looking at those posts is really like marketing to not have to work, as opposed to like I have to post. It's like, nah, bro, I'm working on not having to work,
Yeah.
you know
Right.
what I'm saying, a regular job.
That's
Just
Facts.
right.
reminding myself those little tasks, or just going to the gym today is gonna
Right.
help me, like, you know what I'm saying, to reach that
Right.
big goal. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Mhm.
taking them small wins, bro, and like reminding yourself that it's small today, but it's gonna help you hit that big piece. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's super important, bro. I think
No,
I might
for
even set
sure.
like a weekly reminder in my phone just to be like, the small wins help you hit the bigger purpose. You know what I'm saying? Maybe something like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
That might
Right.
be something that help me lock back in. Like, all right, bro, stop being like that, bro. Lock back in. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's
You know
true.
what I'm saying?
It's good. It's good to
Stop.
look at it. Stop.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop.
Stop.
Stop. Stop. That's
You feel
true
me?
though.
Stop.
Stop. It's true though. That's a good point. Cause a win is a win, bro. It don't matter if you win by 1 point. Like a win
Well,
is
30.
a win. 30, right? You still get that W, and it's crazy. Like if you look at success, bro, most of the time it's the little things, the simple things done over and over time. It's not like you don't have to like reinvent the wheel, bro. Like the basic things, I think we mentioned this earlier. Sometimes it's not about not knowing what to do, right? Most of the time we all know what to do to a certain extent, but we lack the implementation process. We don't implement little things. For example, like you mentioned, just posting every day. Like myself, like I started and I slacked on it. I'm gonna get back on it, right? But it's
Yeah.
all about that little implementation, bro. Like we all know what to do. We all know if we like go to the gym every day, like 3 times a week, eventually we're gonna get to that fitness goals. But we lack the implementation process, and then without implementation, nothing is gonna get done.
Yeah.
You might be the most smartest, like you might have all the knowledge, but if you're not willing to use that knowledge to, it's not gonna get done. So like, yeah, that's a good point, bro. The small wins every day to build that confidence. Because at the end of the day, man, even like for me this morning, when I woke up, I was like, damn, it was already 6 a.m. and I already got done working out. To me, that was a win, right? It made it a
Yeah.
lot
Oh, yeah.
easier for me to like do other things during the day because I felt like I already like woke up. I'm like, I'm better than y'all. I'm already, you know.
that's, that's dumb as hell. Ain't no, that's dumb as hell. That's funny.
No, but like it's like
What's up,
That's
boys?
stupid.
I worked out already.
I already worked out, man. Like it's 6 a.m. But
Cool, man.
but like I'll joke aside, but that like just like that discipline it just helped me, bro. Like I know that I can. And one thing about working out, bro, you never regret you never regret going to the gym. Never. No
That's a
matter how
fact.
early it is, once you were done, you're like, damn, I feel good. Like so, like I felt good, and that just helped me throughout the day. But it's just like build that
Yeah.
momentum because like if I already went to the gym like an hour, I can read a book for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I can like
Right.
stretch for 5 minutes. I can do this. So like
Hmm.
that little win, bro, to just like start the day. Because I think in the beginning of the day is so crucial, bro. Once you like build that self discipline throughout the day, it just helps to keep you going throughout the rest of the day, man. Just accomplish and get stuff done.
Yep.
Well, I wanted to add something to what you said because it was funny as hell. But then I sat with it and it really because you was just like I woke up, I'm like I'm better than y'all. You know what I'm saying? I didn't work out before 6 a.m. It's funny. It's funny as hell. But then I started thinking about people like with the mama mentality like Kobe, right? And they
Right,
was talking about like why he's quote unquote selfish with the last shot or on certain
right.
moments, and he was just like I'm better than I know I worked out with y'all. I was in the gym 3 hours before you got in, and then I did practice with you. So you know what
Right,
I'm saying? It kind of gives you the confidence sometimes to be
right,
like to take
right,
on their moments when you like, yo,
right,
I put in the work to be ready
right.
for these moments, bro. So as funny as that shit was, it was a bar because it's like, bro, I'm better than you. You know what I'm
I'll tell
saying?
you what,
Yeah,
y'all,
You know what I'm
nah.
saying? And
y'all
y'all
talk.
could be whatever it is. Y'all could just be like y'all your old selves. You know
Yeah.
what
Right,
I'm saying?
right.
Y'all could be anything. You know what I'm saying? So
Bro, like the funny thing is, like, to be honest, I don't enjoy waking up early, bro, and going to the gym. If I'll be honest, I don't enjoy that. It's never one that I wake up like I'm so excited. Like, no, bro, like I just do this thing because like for me, like we mentioned, like I have goals and stuff I want to accomplish, and by doing these things, it makes it a lot easier for me to accomplish my goal. But I don't wake up early. Like I'd rather just stay in bed, bro. It's comfy. Like waking up, in Colorado, it's cold as hell. You gotta like start your car. You gotta go. It's dark. Like I don't want to do all that, but sometimes, like you said, man, the little things every day, the little wins every day over time. It's like investment, right? If you build like compound interest, if you invest on 100K this year, before you realize 10, 20 years from now, that 100K is gonna be like 500K if the market perform. Compound
for sure.
interest, and that's how I look at every goal that you want to accomplish. You like start small, stay disciplined over a long period of time, bro, and
Hmm.
eventually, like what we started, bro, like Manifest Monday, we talked about it and we're gonna implement it, right? Because most of the time we have ideas and thoughts, we just sit on it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to wait for everything to be perfect, but we never did this for when it comes to this live. We
Yeah.
talked about it like next week, let's do it,
Hmm.
and we're gonna
Yeah.
learn along because it's not gonna cost us any investment, it's not gonna cost us any money. Like
Yeah.
start, and then we're gonna learn as we continue. And then after a while, like Z taught me, like, oh, you can schedule live. I never knew you could schedule live on
Yeah.
Instagram. Sometimes we have an idea, but we just wait for the right
Yeah.
time. There's
Yeah.
never gonna be a right time. You just gotta like put in that work and just start. Sometimes you learn along the way, especially if it's not gonna cost you fortune or your life.
Yeah. And that's what I've learned about the journey too. Is like you learn that like not everything, honestly nothing is perfect and never will be. So like stop waiting for perfect, like
Right,
like stop waiting
Hmm.
for to be perfect. Stop waiting for there be the perfect time for you to go to the gym, or you going like nothing is ever going to be perfect. Like at the end of the day, the best thing to do is to just do it. Like and that's why I'm a master of now. Like I'm one of,
right.
like I'm gonna just do it now, because like either A, I'm gonna forget, or B, I'm like probably not gonna be as motivated as I am right now to do it. So that's why I'm just gonna do it
Yeah.
now, kind of thing. Like
Nah, Z, you always been the master now, bro. I always tell you that, man. But it was so dope because he's always been like that. And I seen this thing recently said kind of like the shorter time between the thought of doing something and doing something is like you almost like can guarantee yourself doing it. Like if you have a thought and do it, you it's going to be a lot easier than if you sit on it. You might be telling yourself you want to plan, but then you start overthinking, and then it's like, oh, what are they going to think? The longer that you wait, all the other shit comes in. But if you just kind of just be like, I want to do this and I do it, like you don't even give yourself a chance for for that overthinking to take place because you'll just learn whatever you didn't know on the way. Like you said, I didn't know we could schedule the lot. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I
Right,
didn't know we could pin the comments. I didn't know that you
exactly.
know what I mean? We could save the whole thing. And then, there's an app that can break down the clips to small 15 seconds. We learned that on
Right,
the go. You know what I'm
right. By
saying?
starting.
So, yeah, by starting, bro. So just do the shit and then, figure it out. I seen another thing I posted it last week. And it was like the best form of learning is practice, not planning. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
You know what I'm saying? So just do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
No, because sometimes people we have this mindset that we want to be a professional, right? And that, like Ramon said, that's another sexy way to procrastinate. Like I want to be a professional. You're not gonna be a professional, bro. Just start. If it's not
yeah,
gonna cost you a fortune, that it's always good to do research about certain things about investment and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, man, if you want to do something, just start. Like you're gonna learn along the way. You're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
But imagine, bro, if we would have waited, right, to 2024, you're like, oh, we have this idea about live we want to start, but we're just gonna wait. This manifest Monday would have came to fruition,
It
right?
would have never happened, bro. We would have
Never.
all got busy. We would have all got busy. We would have been doing different things and be like, oh, that was a good idea. 6 months from now, we would have been like, we should have just did it, bro.
Right,
But we,
and we got it going. And sometimes, like,
mm-hmm.
yeah, even sometimes I think the thought of fears, right? We are afraid that, oh, if we start something, we might fail. I think sometimes some of the reasons that like hold us back from like starting something that we want to do. What do you guys think about that? About just the thought about it, just failures and all that, holding you back from like getting started.
Yeah, absolutely. I think fear is the hardest thing probably for people to overcome in regards to doing anything, but that's why, like, to P's point, like, if you do something when you immediately have that thought, like, you don't give fear the opportunity to creep in as much as it can. Like,
Right.
you're probably going to be fearful. Like, for instance, skydiving. If somebody brought up the idea of just skydiving, bet, let's do it. Like if I'm just like right there in that moment,
Yeah.
like I don't give myself.
Calculate everything.
Now, if we plan this like 2 months in advance, then I might I might be like, hold up, man. Like, let me reconsider, man. Like, cause I'm like, man, I don't know, man. I don't like the sound of that jumping out of a plane.
Right.
If you're doing it in the moment, like, like you don't really give yourself like the opportunity to like let fear truly settle in. Like, like is there going to be fear? Absolutely. But
Right.
at the end of the day, there's like fear is something that like I think you more so succumb to it over time. Like,
Right.
and that's kind of with everything. But like, yeah, fear is something that's going to stop a lot of people from doing a lot. But the thing that separates the few from the many is the people who are able to overcome them fears and are able to just like, whatever. I'm sure you could look at the most successful people in the world to this day,
Right.
none of them had a perfect plan. They
Right.
just did it, right? Like they were just like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna like, um, Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook, like, he didn't have
Right.
a plan for Facebook. Like, he was just
Right.
like, cool, I had this idea. Like, he believed in it so much that he dropped out of college and was just like, yo, I'm just gonna like see this through, kind of thing.
Right.
And like you look at the Tyler Perrys, of the world, and you look at the Jeff Bezos and stuff like that, like him starting Amazon out of his garage, and I'm sure that wasn't the perfect plan, right?
Right.
Like there is no perfect plan, like at that,
Right.
like, and the best way to just like overcome any of that fear or whatever the case may be is to just do it. Like anxiety, all that stuff, like just don't even give yourself the opportunity to be anxious. Like just do the shit.
Right. Right.
Like, you know what? I'm like, I know I'm an anxious person, so like let me just do this now before I actually do, like my anxiety does settle in, and then all of a sudden like I just freak myself out to the point where I can't even do it anymore, kind of thing. I'm like, just get rid of all that and just
Get
do
it
it.
out the way.
Just
Yeah.
do it.
Get it out the way, bro. I even used to be the same. Like I used to have like a fear, real big fear, like public speaking. And I
Right.
realized for me, it's like I don't like to. You remember, man, if you're in a class or something, y'all presenting or something. I used that shit is tough, right? But it used to get tougher to me if I had to like wait. So
Yeah.
I just realized, let me just get my shit done at the beginning of the class, bro. Then I can just, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, can I go first, like, or second or something, like? Because I'm not about to be sitting here. I'm not even paying attention to none of these dudes because
Right.
I'm like sitting here looking like, God damn, bro,
Damn.
my shit. I'm shit. It's, you know what I'm saying? I'm next. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You feel me? So like, so just sometimes just getting the big shit out the way and just, you know what I'm saying? And that works for everything, bro. Just
Right.
get it out the way. Get the
Do
shit that you overthink out the way, man.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, once you start doing it, you realize it's not that bad. You're like, oh, why was I even tripping about? Like,
Yeah.
it's not that hard, But like, it's just crazy, man. Like public speaking, bro. That's so true, Ramon. Like you like, I want to go first because I
Yeah,
understand
let me
some
get this
stuff.
shit out the way, bro. I'm not playing with y'all. Y'all not about to have me sit until the end, nervous the whole time, stressing and shit.
Bro, it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy because I remember I saw this white dude. He was giving his speech, bro. He turned red, like
Yeah.
Shit.
red. I felt so bad for him. I was like, oh my
Yep.
god.
Yep.
But it's true, man. Like, just start, bro. Like, just because it's hard, man. Even like that's something I have to keep reminding myself every day, bro. Like, just do it. At the end of the day, once you're not doing it to like hurt people or to like put people down, do it, bro. Because at the end of this, your life, man. if you know you want to do something, if you just hold on to it, because you're gonna have that burning desire in you, man. Like, bro, Diamond, just do it, bro. Like, just do
Yeah.
that. You know you want to do it, but I'm afraid that people might, critique me. It's okay. I think you learn from the criticism, right? Because some of the feedback might be positive. You learn from it, but most of the time we're just so afraid. Like, I don't even want to like put it out there.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes other people might benefit. Like this live, bro. I'm sure that we learn from this, and I'm sure that other people, like, come on here and learn from this. So at the end of the day, man, just whatever you want to start, this new year, just start. Like some people be like, oh, I don't know what to do when I go to the gym. Just go on the treadmill. You know how to do that. You can hit start. Just
Yeah.
do it. Just do something.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you wait to have everything figured out, you're not gonna get it done. That's gonna be a sexy way that you're just gonna procrastinate and not do anything. Just go in there, figure it out. Ask for help. Just ask someone, hey, what's good work I can do to work on my arms? Someone's gonna be willing to like help you out. But most of the time we don't even do that. We're just afraid, man. Gotta get out of your comfort zone.
Yep, absolutely.
And
The
that's
right outside your. I'm a firm believer in that.
I want to go to the comment. Caston said, might put you past your time to get up or going to the studio to cook, even though you're not feeling it in a banger you didn't expect it and blows up. You never know, but the work will reveal. No, it's fact, man. You just gotta do the work. Yeah, sometimes in the day, man, yeah, you might be successful, but for the end of the day, like 2024 is the year of no regrets. I just want to do whatever it is that on my mind, put it out there and into the universe. Yeah, some of it might blow up, and some of it might not blow up, and I'm okay with that. At least I can say that I did what I wanted to do instead of allowing like fear to just like debilitate me and just cripple me and just stay on the sideline, bro, and not do anything. Just start.
Yeah.
No, that's a fact, brother.
Shout out to Leo, the big table. Love this. Leo, join. Come on. If you want to request to come on live and like chat, come on. Like my next question, how important it is like the whole mindset, right? Because most of the time we want to accomplish goals, but I think in order for us to like accomplish our goals, there has to be a shape. When it comes to mindset, how important it is, like your mindset, believing that you can do it, right? Because sometimes if you don't believe, you write those things down, but if you don't believe it that it's gonna happen, sometimes it's not really gonna come to fruition. So how important it is to have that mindset of the winner, to like how do you create and cultivate that mindset, like for you guys, like what are some things that you do personally?
I think with anything, bro, you get a lot more confident after you've been doing it. So that kind of thing just connects to what we was just saying, bro. Like, anything the first time seems like impossible, you know what I'm saying? But after doing it for a while, to be honest, like when I was younger, it's funny. I was just having this conversation with somebody. When I was younger, um, I was really like a quiet kid, kind of growing up. You know what I'm saying? But then when I started doing music, shout out to Be Easy in here, started doing music. I just kind of had to like be a little more out there to start getting the music around and stuff like that, right? So over the course of years, I just got a lot better at networking for anything that I do. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say like it just. So somebody was telling me that I have a knack for like networking. I'm like, bro, I think I have a pretty cool personality, and I just did it a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had to do it a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I just think the mindset shift changes when you just know you can. So now you could put me in kind of like a lot of different types of rooms, and I'm pretty sure I could network pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I could talk about different types of things. When you learn more stuff, you have more to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So I think the mindset shift just happens from just doing shit sometimes. You know what I mean? So, and I think they're just connected. I think they're connected, bro.
I agree.
I agree too. Like, like for instance, like you talking to a girl, that it probably seemed like a very daunting. You were probably frightened the first time you do it, but after you holler a couple times, you like, all right, man, like this ain't that bad, like kind of thing. Whatever it is, like you said, public speaking. The first time you do it, you probably dread it. Like maybe the time you're like, okay, this ain't no bad. After doing it 100 times, you're like, all right, like this is like clockwork at this point, kind of thing. The more repeatedly you do something, the more confidence you build, the more belief you have in yourself and able to like, because you mentioned belief. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. Like, I'm sure you of that. If you're not a believer in yourself, no one else will be either. Because like, how are you truly convince somebody if you can't even convince yourself? Like that you're good enough for it or good enough to do this. If you don't believe yourself. So I think the more that you do something, the more confidence you build, the more belief you build in yourself, and just the more that you like, I think, learn about yourself and ultimately be like love yourself, right? You know,
Right.
like self love is the best love that you can have, and just like I think the more that you discover about yourself and maneuvering through like your journey and like through doing these different things, it's just like, all right, cool, like you know, I am pretty good at this, and I am pretty good
Right.
at like you become more confident, you love yourself a little bit more, and it's just like
Right.
you project that love out to other people because you already like genuinely believe it within yourself. So I think I think it's imperative, man.
No, I agree. No, I think it's very important, bro. Like I'll add on to that. I would say just like progress, right? Because for me, it's like if you are able to like do certain thing like physically, you're able to go to the gym and use a skinny person and build muscle. You're like, damn, I can do that, right? And then progress overall just helps to build that mindset. When it comes to business, the first time you made 10K, you're like, damn, like I was able to make 10K, and then you try it and you figure it out, you make 20K, and you realize you're like, I can do way more than I'm capable of, right? And by you realize that, what if I learn more? Because I believe that the more you learn, the more you earn, the more you give yourself potential to like navigate and reach
Yep.
out to other people. So for me, it's like progress overall. Once you start to like build progress and accomplish things, it makes it easier to like for you to like start to believe in yourself. Like I can do this if I put my mind to it, you know. So let me see who's requesting. Who's that? Dubai. May join us. Someone requested. Let me accept. Who's that? Right.
Who's this?
I don't know. We're gonna find out. What's going on?
Hi, Ken.
Hey, can you hear us?
Do you want to grow your followers?
You said what?
Like, do you want to grow your followers like you at G price?
I ain't got no.
I
I can't.
can't I can't hear him. I don't know if you can, Diamond.
Yeah, I can.
And the screen's black too. I can't see it either. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, we can hear you, brother. So I have to like remove it and add somebody back. Let's see. Oh no.
Shout out to my man though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can.
Voice like, am I
shout,
tripping? Like,
shout out to my
Uh huh.
man for tapping in though. Hey, and I
Yeah,
get it, man. Sometimes you just gotta do it. You feel me?
yeah.
I know he was sitting there thinking about it. He was like,
you're like
shit, let me go
I'm
ahead
Like,
and request. You know
go
what
ahead.
I'm saying? Tap in, boy. Shout
and
out. Shout out my
how,
man. You know what I'm saying?
how do you remove somebody? I don't know, but
You just
you
click
see,
on the thing and then you just click on their square or whatever and just hit remove.
okay, remove. Let me see. Leo said that's my cousin. Mike, that's the fam. Damn, I don't. Let me see. All right, see, I'm figuring it out. Q Baby says that's Diamond cousin. That's hilarious. Diamond
Come on,
fan,
man.
Diamond fan wants the spotlight. All right, let's go. Y'all can start. I'm gonna figure it out. Y'all can start keep the competition going. Why like why I try to like navigate and why I keep clicking on Leo? Okay, I think I got it. I see. Okay,
But
I got it.
shout out to my man, though, man. Shout out to my
Yeah,
man for tapping in, bro.
yeah. Do you know how
I
to
know
use the
one thing
screen?
that Be Easy said. One thing that Be Easy said. He said his goal was to you know, to plan the work and work the plan, brother. I
Right.
feel that.
Be
I
easy.
always feel
If
that.
you wanna join, come on live. Be easy.
Yeah.
And Leo dropped the bar. I don't know if y'all seen it. He said, if you knew you couldn't fail, how big would you dream?
Damn.
Mm.
And that's a bar. Like if you just knew in the back of your mind, like whatever I do, I'm gonna win at it. If you really thought
Right.
like that, you wouldn't even like put a cap on what you know what I'm saying? Some people be like, I just
Right.
want that. I think it would be cool if I just got, but if you was just like, if you just knew you couldn't fail, it would
Right.
be like, shit, bro, shit, I need, you know what I mean? This is what I need. You feel me? I think we got to kind of think like that sometimes too. Like,
Yeah.
cause I
Right.
think the bigger the goal, sometimes it makes like the problems really small.
Yeah.
I
Right.
think we're talking about that, Z. Like, right? Like, I don't like to post on social media, but that's a
Right.
small problem
Fact.
to like if I'm trying to do something big. Like, if this,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Like
just a small thing, bro.
like in order to be like in order to be truly like successful in every regard that you like picture in your life, especially if you're a dreamer, like that's something I've always known about myself since I was young. I've always been a dreamer, thought really big, and I like I couldn't really surround myself like and be around people who think small because like I feel like they want to bring you back down to like minded thinking. Like, and I'm like, nah, like, you know, like, granted, you need people who ground you, but like at the same time, it's just like I'm borderline like my confidence within myself with to what I can do is damn near arrogant because I'm just like I genuinely believe I could do whatever I want in my life if I put my mind. And I don't put anything beyond my abilities just because I believe in it so much and I believe in myself so much. Like at the end of the day, may I fail? Maybe, but at the end of the day, that thing probably just wasn't meant for me, whatever that is. Like, you know, like if I wanted to go and be an astronaut, hey, I tried, I failed, cool, I'm gonna move on to the next thing, you know, kind of thing. But at the end of the day, like people can try and bring you down so much, but it's just like at the end of the day, I'm trying, you know, like where a lot of people will just like, you know, to Diamond's point earlier, a lot of people will just like sit victim to the sideline forever, like, you know, like and never step foot in the game, you know, like but we out here in the knee deep of it, you know, like every day, my shot, baby, like I could put up 72 shots and miss 69 of them, but I'm like I hit 3 of them, then things, you know, like. But at the end of the day, I'm out here trying, man. You know, like there's just people who won't even try, you know, like kind of thing. And it's just at the end of the day, man, like I'm shooting for the stars, aiming for the moon, you know, like and I think you need that in order to be great, you know, like because we're not, you know, touched on earlier, we're not settling for mediocrity. Like mediocrity is not stop.
What stop?
It's like mediocrity is not something that we will not acknowledge within this group, you know, kind of thing. And it's not something I will ever let any of y'all settle for. And I promise to put y'all accountable to that, you know, because at the end of the day, I know what we're capable of, you know, like, and I know that extends far beyond myself, you know, like, because you are what you attract. We talk about this too. Like, you know, like we attract greatness because we are that, you know, kind of thing. And so in order to embody greatness, you have to have that confidence, that overachiever mentality that's just like, nah, man, I'm out here trying to do everything, man. Like, and I don't care. Like, you know, like people are gonna try and they're gonna try and project certain fears and certain just things onto you that like at the end of the day it's probably just a reflection of themselves. But at the end of the day, it's just like, look, man, like my head is in the clouds because like I know this is where I'm meant to be. Like my greatness lies in the skies, you know, because I'm shooting for the so like, you know, like it's just we ain't settling for mediocrity, baby. We ain't settling for nothing less than greatness. That's it.
No, I agree. I think you hit that on the nail, Z. One thing is like the reason like I think it's always good to aim big because let's say if your goal, like Marcus said earlier, my goal is to like make a 1 mil in sales. What the worst happen if you don't hit that goal, you still probably reach 800K, 900K. You're close to it. Imagine just say, oh, my goal is to hit like 100K, and then now you hit that goals because I believe that most of the time people set their goals too low. And then it's just easier, right? Because it's good to have confidence. It's good, like we talked about earlier, it's good to have small wins. But sometimes I think goals should like push you and challenge you. So something you can learn. Like before, bro, like I was having this conversation with one of my friends. Like before, I just wanted to get things done. And my to-do list was so easy. Like wake up and just do BS, right? So that way I feel like I'm getting stuff done. But at the end of the day, those things were so easy in a way that it wasn't like pushing me to become better, right? It wasn't like challenging me. I wasn't like growing, even though I was like checking things up the to-do list. By the end of the day, I wasn't doing things to like reach to that next level. So I think it's always good to like have big goals, man. Have a plan put in place. The worst happens if you don't hit that goal, you still learn from it. You still pretty much get pretty close to where you want to be instead of just setting it really low.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
That's a good point, man.
So Leo said another one here. A winner is just a loser that never give up. He just try one more time. The power of one more time is real. Fact, bro. Just one more game.
Yeah.
Ramond always said, one more
One
game.
more again.
One more game.
One more again. One more. Let me get one more again, man.
Yeah, what is something Q Baby said? Q B, I say Q Baby. What is something y'all learned this year that we are taking into 2024? Z, what is something y'all learned this year that you're taking into 2024?
Something that I learned this year that I'm taking into 2024. Well, I told y'all like I'm new to the what is it, scheduling play, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I've never really been a person who's like been intentional about scheduling out my days or weeks or what that looks like, and just kind of like, you know, relied on like motivation and stuff like that alone. But like I think like the longer that I've gone in this journey, and just understanding that the thing that you have to rely on the most is yourself and discipline. You know, like that's truly what's going to get you to the finish line. And that being said, I think just like carrying that over into 2024, you know, like I said, like journaling every day, you
Right.
know, bringing out my scheduler, you know, like in scheduling and everything, like, you know, like just being intentional about everything that I'm doing each and every day. It helps me it helps set myself up for success for all 365 days 24. Like I have the ability to truly you know, create the year that I've always wanted, you know, like, and that's
Right.
why I genuinely believe 2024 is going to be the best year of my life and all of our
And
lives, probably.
man,
Just, I know we're going to be a lot more intentional about things, the way that we do things. And I think that's the thing that I'm most excited about, is just like, we just doing it, man. Like, you know, like,
right.
that's a bar, man. I told you, I wrote that down here in my journal just now, you know, like, if you don't schedule your day will schedule you. You know, like I wrote
Right.
that. That's the
Let's
affirmation,
go.
baby.
Bars.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go.
Um,
Man,
go ahead,
oh,
Ramond.
go ahead, go ahead, Tom.
No, I would say for me, man, just like going all in, because we had this episode we talked about not being able to give 100%. Because I don't remember a time in my life that I ever gave anything I was doing 100% effort and focus. So going into 2024, whatever it is right now, my goal is to like go all in, like 100% focus, and just give everything that I can possibly do. I want to, at the end of the night, at the end of the day, I want to be like, you know what? I give 100% effort to everything today.
Yeah,
And I've never done that ever in my life. So going to 2024, that's something I want to do different. Just give 100% effort towards the business, my fitness, my health, just everything else, man. That's my goal.
absolutely.
Yeah, the one thing that I'll say is sometimes something that me and well, I mean, we all been working on together at this point, but like something I feel like we've all been learning throughout our whole life is really just how companies work.
Yeah.
What up, Cass?
What up,
But it's
Cass?
how, but it's how companies work, right? It's how every company kind of works the same way. It's like departments that they got, different areas they got. So the biggest thing that I learned that I'm gonna apply is like for the longest time with music, I was kind of just, you know, throwing darts in the air, hoping it just, you know what I'm saying, at the wall, hoping they stick. But like
Right,
I've been wanting to like apply a business structure that is in almost every business has a similar structure, but apply that business structure to what I do creatively. And that's
Yeah,
like, and that's what me and Z started with, is 1 week, one meeting a week, turning three meetings a week. It turned into doing this, you know, podcast. It turned into posting 5 times a week, just running it like a business for real. You know what I mean?
right,
Nike's open no matter if the, you know, the manager can't come, this can't happen. Some
right,
things still happen regardless, man. And that's how you create systems, and systems create wealth. You know what I'm saying? So just had to drop
right,
the bars on there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah,
I think the thing I learned was like creating a system around my passion as opposed to just focusing only on the art. You feel me?
right.
yeah.
Luke, what Luke said.
But look, it really is.
Ha! Damn near, you know what I'm saying? Hey, come on, man. You feel
He
me?
said, no, cute.
That's
Hey,
That's
say,
hilarious. I damn near just talking silent.
I ain't never seen somebody talk with their hands so much until I met Pete. Boy, that boy.
I love it though.
Well, you know what I'm
I
saying? Come
love
on,
it.
man.
Right, right. I love
I
it.
must have been meant to rap or something. You know what I'm saying?
I
Man,
love it.
I swear Pete would be a great martial artist, because he just be like every place.
What? What? You know what I'm saying?
What up, guys? Can you hear
Treat
him?
it like a job and it'll pay you like one. That's a fact.
Oh damn,
That's a
Cass.
fact, man.
Oh, Cass. Oh, let me see. He just froze. Let me try that him again.
That's hilarious.
Yo, Cass, you in here? Let me see. It said,
He disappeared.
yeah, he's still showing on my screen, but it's just like he just posts.
Oh, he's not showing on mine no more.
Let me
Not
see.
mine either.
Yeah.
Uh, Let me see. There's a real thing. Sure, like no, it's good, man. Even like I don't know if you guys can see my short. This shout out to on the fly. It's like nothing moves unless you do.
Yeah.
Nothing moves
That's
unless
fine.
you do,
Yeah.
man. That's kind of like everything, man. Like nothing moves unless you do. Your
Hmm.
goal is not just gonna work themselves out. You
Yeah.
have to be the one to get it done.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's try Kaz. Okay.
Luke said I think he got kicked.
Who? I didn't kick him out. I was just trying to add him, Kaz. I told him I told him you was asking him.
And to your point, DG, you talking about people. I honestly think a lot of people what's easy. Like I think a lot of times people just like a big like a lot of people are spiritual or religious, whatever the case may be. Like that's where a lot of people's backgrounds come from, and a lot of
Right.
people focus on prayer alone, right? I think
Right.
prayer is a very spiritual person. I think prayer is very important, but prayer without action is just hoping for a miracle. That's all. That's
Fact.
all. Like all that, and I think so many times people fall into that of just like, oh, like they just want something to fall into their laps. They want this miracle to happen. Like if I pray about it hard enough, God will bless me. Like kind of thing.
Right.
And yes, prayer is an important piece of it. But if you're not doing any action, to bring this into fruition, on your end,
Right.
like you want to be a millionaire, and you sitting on the couch at home not doing nothing, and you just every day like God will bless me with this $1 million. Like I promise this gonna happen. Bro, what are you doing? You're sitting on the couch not doing nothing every day. Like
Fact.
sit here and just expect this miracle to just fall into your lap. And
Man.
not the case. That's not how things work in life. Like the people who are massively successful didn't just hope and pray and not take any action. Like prayer is important, but action is even more important, honestly.
Fact.
Bro, it's funny. I always say prayer without asking. Without action is just asking.
Yeah.
Fact.
Pretty much.
You ain't really
That's
doing
a bar. Bar, boy.
like doing track at CSU, bro, or even in basketball sometimes, but people would pray to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that ain't how it works, right? Like you could pray for health, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could pray that, right? Like you could be mentally focused, right? But he's not gonna pick one or the other. He's not gonna pick you over somebody else, right? It's a matter of the work that you've put in up until that point. You could pray for understanding. I think there's a lot of things that you can pray for that will support you and help you get where you go and reach your goals. But praying for results, that's what works.
Yeah. Agreed. That's another bar. Prayer without action is just asking.
Yeah.
Sure.
Taking notes.
Of course. That's a big bar. Yeah.
It's true, man. Because most of the time we pray for things. Because at the end of the day, like Cassie mentioned, right? If you put another team, I'm sure they are praying too. So who's God's gonna listen to?
Right.
So, like God. So at the end of the day, man, it all comes down
You
to
could probably pray for health or something. You know what I'm saying? Pray
right,
for his blessing. You know what I mean?
right,
Pray I don't get hurt, but that's a fact. If both teams is praying, you know what I mean? I
right,
don't think he got a favorite in the game. You know what I mean?
right. So it all comes down to whoever was putting in work behind the scene, right? Whoever like grinding and like staying disciplined in the gym, working out, working on the free throw, working on the kicks. So at the end of the day, it all comes down to preparation, man. And for going to 2024, like Bees was saying, for me, it's like having a whole different mindset and just willing to go all in.
Mm-hmm.
That's my focus right now, man. I want it all. I feel like people owe me in 2024. Everything, like I want it all.
Yeah, bro, I'm excited this year, man. This most recent year has been a struggle, right? And kind of to touch on some of the points I was talking about, like even when things aren't going the way that you expect them to, right?
Mm-hmm.
You still got to keep pushing, right?
Yep.
Because the moment you give up, you just stop any chance of things ever getting better.
Absolutely.
Right. And there's a lot of times, I mean, shoot, me and the school DG, we walked across the stage at CSU together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, how many times did I just like not want to be there? Like I wanted to quit so many times, bro.
Right.
Struggle, man. Obviously, I had my daughters in school, and then just the coursework, I wasn't feeling it. It was like a requirement, but I understood that, every day if I just keep going, focus, man, eventually that's going to help me get closer to what I actually want to do and the goals that I really want to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
Things that y'all were talking about earlier is true, right? The small wins that you can stack up, they just build on top of each other, right? When you go to build a house, you don't just have a house, dog.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You start brick by brick.
Brick by brick, right? And same way when it comes to your relationships. That's the same way when it comes to things that you want to do in life. You got to stay focused, right? And some days that brick going to be heavier than other days, right? Some days you're going to have a wheelbarrow full of them, right? You're not even going to know which direction to take them in. But eventually you're going to reach your destination, you know, and continue working, right? And you get your end result. But it'd be tough sometimes. It'd be tough sometimes, but you got to push through. And support system too, right? I love that y'all are doing. I really do, man, because there's a lot of people who don't get this exposure, who don't have people to talk to, right, who look like them, who have similar experiences as them, right? So y'all doing this Manifest Mondays is fantastic. I've been looking forward to getting on here, and y'all was just kind of preaching tonight. So I was like, let me hop in.
I love it, bro.
Hey.
Of course, my boy DG knows what's up, right? And I want I've ever been.
I can hear you. I'm having a hard time hearing, Cass.
You cutting out, Cass?
Now?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So I was saying that anytime I've had a low, my man DG has had my back, right?
Yeah.
Blessing to be able to have people in your corner like that, but you also search for that.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Don't just come across it. It's not just going to the left. Talk about being in the club.
Still having a hard time, Cass.
Can you hear me now?
Much better. Go ahead.
All right, for sure. We was talking about last week being at the club and seeing how Z had your back, right? Or in reverse, excuse me, how P had your back, Z.
Yeah.
And those moments, they don't come just randomly, right? It's organic. It's time built up. It's the exposure to, oh, this person has done this for me. Let me return. Right. Oh, I see how this person in this situation. Let me show them love because they stand on business, right? Yeah. And that's a tough thing to find. But again, like I said, you're not gonna find it unless you're looking for it, man.
Yeah.
Nice when you do have those. You don't want to lose those connections.
Yeah.
Bro, and just to add one thing to what you said, Cass, bro, because it's you speaking right now, bro. The one thing I add to it is something that I read before is like if you can't find the blessing, be the blessing.
Mm-hmm.
It'll find you later. You know what I'm saying? So it'll find you down the line. And sometimes if you're looking and you just can't find it or can't find the people, just be it to somebody else, and it somehow it's going. You know what I mean? Maybe that person will end up being that. You know what I mean? Looking in the long run. So yeah, just to add to that, bro. That's a fact.
I just started a new position and I really enjoy it so far. Like I said, this last year been a struggle for me, and I just found a position that's probably the best position I've ever had personally, right? I feel like it's going to get to the point where I'm in a position to do my own stuff, which is obviously all of our goals. But I was talking to one of my teammates just about being in position to help people achieve their goals, right? And I mentioned if everyone helped everyone every day, everyone would have help.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like nowadays, a lot of the times people kind of, with the way things are set up, you got to worry about self, right? And of course you always got to worry about self, but it's to the extent that it's kind of fearful to worry about somebody else, because if you give to them, you might not have it when you need it.
Yeah.
And y'all was talking about being in South Africa. DG was talking about being in Africa and how the culture is just so different, how helpful people are. If you babysitter, your neighbor gonna watch your kid, you know? And I just think we need to get back to that, right? Because it's tough enough to accomplish our goals by ourselves, but without support, it's almost impossible sometimes.
Yeah. I would argue it is impossible, honestly.
Yeah, for certain. Nobody did anything by themselves.
Right.
Right? Like if I didn't have my wife this last year, things would have been even tougher, right? If I didn't have my dogs this past year, things would have been even tougher.
Yeah.
Right? So nurturing those relationships and understanding that when you got somebody good in your life, I think it's important to make sure that you do what you need to do to make sure that relationship thrives, right?
Yeah.
And to remove that level of selfishness, because when you with your boys, there ain't no selfishness.
Yeah.
Right? And that should bleed into majority of your relationships, but people get blindsided by the idea of what this relationship is supposed to be instead of you making it what you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, first, congratulations on your position, on your new gig, man. That's
Yo, man. Big shout out.
Shout out to, on the bigger and better things, baby. Secondly, I think just to that same point of what we were talking about earlier, we need to invest in ourselves, but not also ourselves, but other people, just like we invest into the market, right? Like, as I've grown older, I know, like, I'm sure we all can relate. We know a lot of people. Like, we are all acquainted with a lot of people.
Right.
However, who I'm going to pour a lot of my effort and energy into, that circle has gotten a lot smaller over the years, like at the end of the day. And it's just because, like a friend of mine made a good analogy that your ascent to success is much like climbing like Mount Everest. The higher you climb, the harsher the conditions get. The thinner the air gets, more people. There might be people who fall off. They might even potentially die. And I, like figuratively speaking, like that relationship,
and literally too,
and
literally too.
But at the end of the day, you got to keep going. You got to see it through until you reach that peak. And people that you reach that peak with, that circle is probably going to be really small. You might start off with a group of like 16 to ascend to like the top of Mount Everest. You might end up with 3 or 4 at the end of the day, kind of thing. That's just how it is. And when a friend of mine made that analogy, I was just like, that's a bar, honestly, because like, into like all these people and want to be there for all, like, which I do. Like, I think we all give genuinely and authentically and abundantly as much as we can, but at the end of the day, I'm a firm believer in reciprocity too, so like at the end of the day, you want to give to the people who are giving just as much to you, kind of thing, and vice versa, because it shows you that they truly value the relationship just as much as you do, kind of thing. And therefore, whatever you pour into this person, they're going to pour back into you. Ultimately, like, y'all are going to grow together, like, and I think that's where we're at. We're at a point in our lives where we're all just trying to grow together, trying to figure out the best for each other, for ourselves, like, kind of thing. And it's just like, it's dope when you have people who are all in that same space mentally, because you have things like this that come into fruition, like this appear out of thin air. This comes from nurturing those relationships. This comes from working on ourselves. This comes from wanting more, to reading, to learning, like to, just ultimately at the end of the day, just being dreamers, and that's one thing I've come to realize as I've done, I'm about to be 35 next year, 2024, man. That's crazy. Like, like I sit here and I think about that on paper. Like, I'm like, dang, I don't feel like I'm 35 at all, but it's just wild to think. I'm an 80s baby. I was born in 1989, baby. I'm like, it's like real out here, like, I'm like, but I welcome it because, like, I also know that my best years are still ahead of me. And I know that because a dope group of people behind me too, yourselves included. So I'm excited, man.
Right. In fact, Captain brought up a really good point though, right? Because like back home in Africa, bro, we look after one another. It's important. That's the culture right there. Because here it's just like everybody for themselves. However, I think we can still find that interdependent culture as well. Because at the end of the day, if you just have one steak, it's easy to break it. But if you have a bundle of steaks, it's harder to break. So if you're having like a support group, like what we're doing, like people that I know I can call on Casting, whatever I need, I know he got my back. I know I can call on Z and Ramond, right? I think just having a support group, people that you can like reach out to, whatever it is, man. I don't matter if I'm going through a relationship problem right now. Z gonna listen to me. He's not gonna say, bro, you're being weak. At the end of the day, it's like having that group of people that you can like listen to, that you guys can feed into each other and inspire each other to be better. I think that's the key, bro. That's the key, man, to success, to be honest. At the end of the day, if everyone around you is winning, bro, you're not going to be the only one just being mediocre when all your boys are being better. You're inspired to grow. So it just like helps to elevate you to get to that next level when everyone around you is just pushing themselves.
And I mean, that's why they say sharpens iron, right?
Yeah.
They always say if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to evaluate your friend group.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're not being challenged by the people around you, if their accomplishments don't make you want to better yourself, if their accomplishments don't make you want more, right? Like there should not be no envy, right? And you get some people, and that's when you got to cut your circle, right? Because you get some people who see you win and see you have that success, and then they jealous because it's not theirs.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Celebrating your success, they want to detract from it, right? Or they might not even mention it. They might be too quiet, right? But then you can notice when somebody's not celebrating your success, right?
Fact.
Yeah.
Sure. So
Yeah.
like making sure that you're around people who, for one, celebrate your success,
Yep.
but when they see that you're successful, if they don't understand how, they're gonna ask questions, right? And
Yeah.
Right.
take that time to learn and figure out, okay, well, y'all did this, let me do this, and let me work on my stuff. So when the time comes, I can give them back some information that helps push them forward and helps
Right.
them goals that they're trying to achieve, right? And
Exactly.
it, it works in unison, right, with each other, right? Like all of y'all, everybody on this live has accomplished things that I've been proud of, right? That I've seen from afar, and I've been like, yo, that's fantastic, right? Whether it's DG and his business, right, and finance and his physical health, whether it's all going to other countries, performing, doing music, right? Like that's so dope to put something on the table and say, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to accomplish, and then figure out a way to get that done, right? And then use your support group. When you might be unsure of something, or you might be questioning something, or not should, and somebody tells you like, yo, don't forget who you are. Like this year, but I have people telling me, yo, Cash, don't forget who you are, and we back in full effect, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just nice when you have that around, and you have help to achieve the want to achieve. You write them down on a paper, and you see them come to fruition. I don't think they're better than that.
Yeah. Just like BEZ said, man, everybody can't go, and you need those people who constantly remind you of who you are, because I haven't been the biggest fan of his recently. I used to be a huge fan of his, but like Kanye said, like if you're surrounded by people who don't act like who you are, like you'll forget who you are. And that's why it's important to be surrounded by people who often remind you of that. Like I gotta remind y'all every day, like how great y'all are. Like not because like I feel like I need to go out of my way to do it. It's just like I just authentically want y'all to know, like like y'all are great. Like kind of thing. And period. Like you need people who just expect and want the best for you. But like there's that also that expectation, like like we got to work though. Like like we here building, kind of thing. So
Right.
yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly, Cass.
So,
That's fine.
So I had a question though. How, like, nowadays with so much distraction going on, like how do you guys stay focused when it comes to like going to 2024? What are we gonna do? What are you guys gonna do differently to stay focused, and just work on those goals and not be distracted by social media and other things going on? Like how do you guys stay focused?
bruh, I think when you're forced to kind of take a step back and life humbles you a little bit, your focus and your drive after that is crazy, right? When you thought you had it figured out and you realize that you don't, and you're in a position where you want something so bad, and then you finally get it, you remember not having it.
Right.
And I think just reminding yourself of the time when you wanted this, right? Like, I wanted this job. Of course, there's going to come a day. I mean, it's still early for me, but in 3 months, there's going to come a day where I'm going to wake up and be like, man, I got to go to work. And it's in those moments where you got to remember, bro, you was begging for this.
Yeah.
Right.
You was praying for this. You was hoping that anything could happen so that you could be in the position that you're in right now. And you can't forget about that, right? So I think just that humility and really, really grounding yourself and remembering the times, not forgetting about them because they're though, right? But having something around you that reminds you of the times that you were struggling and you wasn't doing as well as you thought you was. Using that motivation, right? Continue the grind, right? You want to get back to that point, right? A lot of people grew up not having could have been so long ago, and then now they've been having for 10 years. They're not using that as fuel no more, right?
Right.
While rappers lose their grit, right? They forget what got popping in the first place. And then they start rapping about stuff that people don't relate to anymore. And it's just not the same because they forgot about where they were and they got so comfy in where they. So I just think really, really keeping a solid base and making sure for times when it's more challenging than other times, how hard it was and how far you've come. Go, obviously, the support of other people, but look how far I made it with this much work. Let me keep grinding. And I think that's really helpful in regards to me, just stay focused on goals without falling, of course.
Right.
No, that's a fact, bro. Now, I'll just add, man, bro. For me, it always leans back to the same thing for me, bro. Just leaning into purpose, bro, for real. And it's easier to put my purpose over problems when I think about my purpose first. You know what I'm saying? And just like leaning into that shit that I actually want to do. I'm at a point where my whole mindset shifted over to like figure out how to get these things done, and everything else is kind of extra. You know what I'm saying? Like it really is. You know what I'm saying? You realize how much shit is just not real when you focus on like the things that you actually want to do. And a lot of shit is based on like other people's opinions. If you took all that shit out, kind of like what Leo said, but if you took everybody's opinions out, what would you want to do? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you took all that shit out. So I kind of lean into like the shit I actually want to do, and it makes like the shit I have to do easier. You know what I'm saying? So
You heard of big rocks? Have you heard of
what?
The analogy big rocks versus little rocks?
No.
So basically, like, let's say hypothetically you got a jar, right? And that jar is, you filling that jar up is you fully accomplishing your goals, right?
Right.
Kind of touched on this, P, but focusing on the things that are most important in your life and accomplishing those, and everything else is just secondary to that. So if you take this jar, if you fill it with the smallest rocks, like pebbles, like sand, if you will, right? If you fill it with that first, and then you put big rocks, which are your big tasks, the most important things in your life that you need to complete, whether it's your faith, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's getting stuff done at work, taking care of your family, like the really important things. If you put those rocks in, have open spaces in your jar, right? It's going to be full. But if you put your big rocks in first, you make sure you take care of the things that you're supposed to take care of, and then you fill it up with the sand, eventually you come out with a glass that's full, right?
That's hard.
A lot. Right. So that's kind of the way that I shape my day when it's at work or anything. I got to take care of the most important things first, and then everything else that comes after that is kind of like a bonus, right?
Yep.
The point where I can fill up my cup.
Right.
You know, and then eventually, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yep.
That's a bar.
Caston, I'm gonna let you back in. Let me add Jonathan real quick, okay? All right. Z, you got anything? Let me see.
Yeah, just as far as like ensuring success for next year, man. Like, I mean, I think, you know, to the same point I talked about earlier, is just when I find myself getting discouraged, you know, just like leaning into my like relationships, into my people, you know, like just finding ways to you know, get back to square one. You know, like I think sometimes we veer off track sometimes, but you need those people to help remind you. Shout out to Rich in the building, Jonathan. He goes by that. He doesn't go by. He's rid of the J Rich moniker. He's now.
Thank you. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
J Rich, we can hear you.
Y'all can hear me. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. What's up, y'all?
We hear you, Jonathan.
All right. Awesome. It's good to see y'all faces.
What? What did it do? What?
What's happening? No, I jumped in because I wanted to kind of like really get down to the bottom of Diamond's question, that whole distraction aspect. I think for the people in this conversation panel, because even I have this challenge, but I feel getting over that hump of distractions. I think a lot of people fill themselves with distractions in order to avoid that goal they want. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I want to get into this, and then you get caught doom scrolling on TikTok or whatever, and you're just avoiding your whole process. And I think like what is that shift for you guys personally, where you're like, okay, I'm running from this goal by filling myself with all these distractions, and what's that thought or what's that moment for you that makes you feel like, oh, I need to get on my shit. You know what I'm saying? And quit with the bullshit. I mean, I know for me, sometimes I'm like, let me just delete all my apps, and then I ain't got nothing but my thumbs to twiddle, so I might as well get to it. But just out here, you know what I'm saying?
For real.
Right.
Oh, playing thumb war.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, bro.
Yes,
I started just thinking about like you kind of like you either consume me or a consumer, right? And I just started thinking about like being that everything is business. If you want to make a certain type of thing, like passion wise, your business. I think for me, I think the biggest thing with going to Africa was just resetting my mind to be like, bro, how do you actually want to live? Like, how do you want to live? Like, not like the bigger questions, not the small ones. Like, not what do you want to do? How do you want to live? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when I started thinking about that, it's kind of like it just made everything seem easier for me. Like the small things seemed easier. That you know what I mean? Like breaking down the big things to small things just seemed a lot easier when I was just like, I want to travel, I want to do music, I want to do these certain, like, you know what I'm saying? But I want to live a certain lifestyle that incorporates all that. And I don't want to be at a corporate gig. What needs to happen to do that? And if it's all these little things, and then scheduling my day, you don't leave yourself time to, you know what I'm saying, to do too much scrolling. Like, shit, I got this live at 7. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I know from 7 to 8 for sure I'm not going to be scrolling, you know what I'm saying? So, but if you do that all day, it's like, well, shit, when did I even have time to? And then now, like, I even schedule my posts out, like, to post. So, you know what I mean? And I just hop on and just respond to people, you know what I mean? So, I think, bro, like I said.
So I guess what I'm hearing is scheduling your day to day is that transitional point of allowing yourself to be distracted from your goals versus getting shit done. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to like come up with the, you know, that encompassing concept or idea or answer, because it's like I think for a platform like this, an opportunity where we're discussing high level conversations of personal growth and development, a lot of people walking into that door don't know what to do. And so, you know, I feel like that's for me. I mean, that's where I'm at. I'm currently reading a book called The Ultimate Sales Machine, and the first chapter is about time management and managing your day. Like managing your life like a business. And a lot of people hear the word business, but they don't know what that means. It's like, okay, well, I got a suit on, but that don't mean you business. You know what I'm saying? So business in the personal sense is let's schedule out our day, make sure all of our time is accounted for throughout that day so that you don't allow yourself the time to get distracted.
Absolutely.
And I think that's for, you know, the younger generations, though I look young as shit, I'm 34, but, you know, it's like anybody in the 20s trying to figure out that path for themselves, you know, they're going to want to know, why am I not getting closer to my goals? And I guess you hit it on the head with, I schedule out my day. I don't even have time. It's not in my schedule to doom scroll. You know what I'm saying?
Today I don't have time. I ain't
got time today, cut.
And I think the beginning part of that was big too. Is like figuring out what you actually want, not what people tell you to want.
That too.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like then when you connect those two, it's a lot easier.
But that's a hard question for a lot of folks.
Because people tell you this is what you need to do. You need to do real estate. Nah, you need to do stocks. Nah, you need to
Yeah.
be a rapper. Nah, you don't. You need to get a job. Nah, you
Right.
don't. You need
Right.
to be an
Yeah.
entrepreneur. Nah, you
Right.
don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you
Yeah.
really don't know. But I think you just have to try shit. You have to
That
try
Right.
shit. And what feels good, whether anybody told you to do it or not.
yeah.
That
Right.
was always music to me. Like
But I
whether,
also
you know what I'm
feel like
saying?
you
So
can't really find that answer if you don't do nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you
that's
know
a
what I'm
fact.
Exactly.
You
saying?
gotta
And
do
Like
something.
you got to do I've
you
been
got to do
exposed to a
stuff.
lot of fields of work,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
it's made it almost difficult, to decide what that purpose is. It's like, well, dang, I'm kind of good at this, I'm kind of good at that, I'm kind of good at
Yeah.
this, and then you're
Yeah.
just like, what I know I want the mansion on 40 acres,
Yeah.
and that's what I want, but what path do I commit to wholeheartedly and pigheadedly, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
just
Right.
and go
Yeah.
attack it. And
Yeah.
I
Right.
think like that's one of those big questions we're probably asking ourselves a lot in our 20s, and
Yeah.
we're in that phase now. It's like, you know what, this is what I'm passionate about. Z and Ramond, music is always a part of your guys' lives, and so whatever you're doing, it has to involve music in some way,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and and I think you know that requires obviously a level of investment on how to learning your industry, learning your opportunities to inject music into it, but also make it make sense, make it make dollars, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, it's a very big question, but it's a hard question to get down to
Mhm.
because a lot of people just haven't done enough at
Yeah.
20, you know what I'm saying, to
Yeah.
really say, hey, this is what I want to do.
Agree.
Right.
But I think also to Pete's point that he talked about earlier too was like this whole reset for us, like this whole moment of realization, this epiphany came from going to Africa. Like
Right.
Africa was truly that point, that moment in life, that shift where like our entire perspective changed. Like
Yeah.
for the better. And therefore, that being said, we've always known what the like what the vision was. What
Mm-hmm.
that looked like. Like we've all known like the life that we've wanted. Like like we must more than just music. Like obviously like music is like what compels us, but
Right.
there's so many more pieces to that. It's our family, our friends, our people. We want to make sure who are good. Like it's so much bigger than us.
Right.
But I think a big piece of getting into that realization and stuff like that is getting out of your comfort zone. And that's why
Right.
that's why I truly believe that like traveling and experiencing new places and stuff like that
Right.
helps you unlock thoughts and things about yourself that you never would have experienced otherwise, because you've never been out of that space. Like
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe like getting out and experiencing new cultures and new things and just seeing how you navigate in those moments.
Right.
Like like sometimes you can get past creative block, writer's block,
Right.
producer's block, like whatever it is, like
Facts.
those moments where you like reset and really like find yourself. Just in those moments, I think are so necessary in regards to your growth, because like I can tell you for damn sure I would not be the person that I am today if had I not be the like world traveler that I am.
Right.
Like like having gone and like just see how I move in these other particular places, and like how my mind functions, like when you're in this foreign country where like the predominant language is German, and it's just like
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of people may or may not speak English. It's just like
Right.
Right.
you figure out how you navigate in those situations, and it's just like that unlocks certain things about your personality, about yourself, that it's just like, damn, like but I figure I knocked that shit out the park. I would I may not have known all the words, but I knew a couple of them, like Vasquez, let's get it, so I think those opportunities, like unlock so much within yourself, and about your ultimate like dream and vision, just as much as like being, spearheading whatever like it is that you want to do with all the discipline in the world and stuff like that, to go out and experience life in general. I think it's just such a huge piece of that too.
So if y'all started an entrepreneur development group, the first thing y'all would do is send y'all students to wherever on the map?
Hell yeah. I would like I personally think that like the studying abroad should be like a
A
like
requirement.
requirement. It
Right.
should
Yeah.
be a requirement. I genuinely believe that. You know, and another reason why I think that is because when we went over to Europe back in 2018, it was so often that you found people who spoke 4 or 5 different
yeah.
languages. It was
Bars.
it was mind blowing to me. I was
That's a
just
big
like,
one.
and we struggle to speak English. So I'm just
That's
like, bro, like
that's a
how are
key.
we
That
like,
is a key right there. Like,
that's so crazy to me. And that's why I think people view Americans in a very particular way, because obviously
Right.
like we're very closed-minded, we're very selfish, you know, like and stuff like that. And that's why I think it's so imperative for that, you know, like if I were to implement anything into like the youth right now, it would absolutely be studying abroad, because like people need to get out of their comfort zones. They need to go out and I get that some people like lack certain resources and stuff
Right.
like that.
Mhm.
I get that that's a big piece of what it is too. But I think that a lot of people think that traveling and all this stuff is this daunting, expensive task, and like you can figure out like ways to make it
Right.
affordable. Like you truly can, you know,
Right.
but yeah, I think travel, you know, and ultimately just experiencing life is such a essential piece of growth. You know, if you
Right.
never left your block, like if you grew up on your block and never left your block, you would only know so much. It's like I
Facts.
only know 36
Facts.
and 8th Ave, baby. Like that's all. That's me. That's what I bleed. Like, you know, like how could you know anything else? You know, like kind of
Right.
thing. Your perception is so skewed, it's so limited,
Right.
you know, like kind of
Right.
thing. You know, but like once you go from 36 and 8th, and it's just like, oh, you know, I popped over to Oklahoma City. Hey, let me tell
Right.
you, Oklahoma City was kind of cool, man. And then all of a sudden that turns into like, man, I popped out of Texas, and then I popped out of this, and then you know, you come and you share that knowledge with those people too, and it's just like, damn,
Right.
maybe I need to go out and do that myself, you know, kind of thing. But I honestly like don't sleep on like how much that is imperative to one's growth in someone's journey too. You know,
Mhm.
you can read all the books you want, you can,
Right.
you know, you can go and hit the gym all you want and all that stuff, but like you got to go out and experience life to a degree.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point, Z. And it's just like this analogy, right? It's like a fish in a well. So the
Hmm.
fish, the word is so small because from the well he can only see a certain angle, right, on a small
Yep.
view. However, the eagle been so and been all over the world, right? So the
Yep.
eagle have a different perspective than the fish that's in the well. To the fish, is like the word is so small, but to the eagle who's been around, he's like, man, it's beautiful out here, bro.
Yeah, it's
You
beautiful,
know that
baby.
you're missing out. Like kind of like the same thing when it comes to like traveling and being exposed to different culture and people and all that. It just you
Hmm.
like get to like understand people a little bit more than just being confined in just
Yeah.
one area. And going
Mhm.
back to what Jonathan, Jay Rich,
Jonathan J. Rich, y'all know what's up. Y'all know what's up.
Right back to what Jerry said earlier, I think it's important, bro. Like for me, like when it comes to distraction, sometimes like removing some of those apps that that you don't have control. Like for me, TikTok is never on my phone because I heard TikTok is so like dream. Whenever you click on it, you like it's like a rabbit hole. You
It's
just
a
stuck in.
rabbit hole.
So like TikTok is not on my phone for now because I'm not really ready to like Ramond talked about earlier, being like a consumer than a producer, right? I'm
Yeah.
not ready to like use TikTok as a producer right now. So what's the point of like me just going on TikTok and just like wasting time when that time could be like devoted to like other things that would like help me like reach to that next level. So I think
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
just very very important just taking that little actionable
Perspective
step.
over
Right.
perception.
Correct.
Yep.
Perspective over perception. Uh, we gain perspective with all our experiences, but so many people are so focused on their own perception they can't see the other perspectives of what's going on around them. And I
Hmm.
think that's goes back to his fish analogy. Is that perspective and a lot of Americans just have their own perception of their small world
Right.
and don't have any greater perspective of the whole.
Hmm.
And I mean it, it's imperative when you want more, you got to do more. Like you just can't want, like y'all were talking about earlier, you just can't want something and expect it to fall in your lap.
Hmm.
And I think that, just like I said, full circle back to the whole, distractions. Like you want it bad enough, you'll get those distractions, you'll put them to the side, put them in their place, whatever
Right.
you need to do, and move forward with where you're going. But I mean,
Bro.
yeah, y'all, whatever y'all did in Africa, I need to sip that Kool-Aid. Is what I'm saying.
I'll tell you,
Yeah,
everybody needs to sit
they
that
gave us that space jam water. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
I
no,
You know what
swear,
I'm saying?
y'all act like y'all went to Wakanda over there.
no, but
We did, man. You know what I'm
We
saying?
did, baby, forever,
the crazy thing
Wakanda
forever.
is,
forever. You know what I'm
we all went to Africa this year. We all went to Africa. That's the crazy thing. I'm just
saying?
like, God
Yeah,
damn, we
we
arguing
did,
about like,
we
damn,
did,
we want more. Like we all went
we
to
did,
Africa.
man, we
That was
did.
my
Damn,
first time in like 23 years. You know,
Yeah,
I was like, God damn. Okay.
that
it's a beautiful
dang,
thing, man. Like,
y'all y'all hyping it up so much. I'm like, dang. It was on my list, but it was like not on my list. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, I want to go to Paris. I want to see the Eiffel Tower, the Palace of Versailles. I want to go to see, Egypt, even though that is Africa. But
Right.
it's I want to see all these other places. But then, you guys come back from your trip, and I'm like, these niggas ain't the same no more. Like,
Mm-mm.
we're not,
this
we are
is
not the
not
Mm-mm.
same.
this is
We're
not
not
the
the
Nah.
same.
last. This is not Zico, Suave, or P.
Mm-mm.
We're not the same.
This
Mm-mm.
is Ramon.
For
Right.
sure.
Right.
For sure.
This is so
I don't feel the same. I
you
don't even
guys
Nah.
feel the
don't
same.
y'all don't act the same,
You know,
which is a
and
beautiful
a big
thing.
reason why I think, a very like constant like topic of that trip to Africa was abundance. And we talk about that, like, like we talk about like how we want to live, and like, like I think when you approach life from living in an abundant mindset, like it's like, for instance, like, damn, I don't know if I want to book this trip because at the end of the day, like, I got to put it on my credit card, and like, I may not have the money right now, like, and all this
Yeah,
stuff. And like, I got to move some stuff around. But at the end of the day, like, when you approach things from an abundant mindset, I'm not saying go out and be reckless, like, but when you
no.
approach things from an abundant mindset, the world will provide, like the universe will provide at the end of the day. Like,
Mhm.
like that's why oftentimes they say like go out and fly first class, because like once you experience that,
But yeah,
once you experience that, you don't ever want to go back to economy, and you're
never.
gonna do your lifestyle changes, right? Because it's just like, I know that like everything I need to be doing needs to equate to me being able to book a first class ticket, so all of a sudden your entire lifestyle is elevated because of that one experience. And
Right.
that's what I think, when you approach things from an abundant lifestyle, and like, just, you may not always know how things are going to work out, because at the end of the day, you can't have a perfect plan. Like, and,
Right.
like, you can have a plan, it may not be perfect, but like at the end of the day, like, just that belief ultimately, like, in yourself, with that discipline too, like, like things will work out. And I genuinely believe that in an abundant lifestyle, when you approach things from that manner, like, it'll just happen. And that's exactly what happened with Africa, bro. Like, like, we went out to Africa, and granted, like, like some of those like things like were taken care of, but like, like for a lot of it, it was just like we didn't quite know how that experience was going to turn out. It was kind of just like
Right.
we knew we were going out there to perform. Did we know that it was that was going to be an experience that changed our lives forever? No. Like, and honestly, like, P and I, we talked about it. People could go out to, you know, people could go to Kigali, Rwanda, and do the exact same things that we did and still not experience it the
Right.
same way
Right.
that we did. Like, like, and that's just also a reflection of what you bring to the table too.
Right.
Like, P and I's motto for that trip was like, y'all gonna catch these vibes. Like, we don't care what it is. Like whether you the person who's, setting up my microphone, whether you're the person who's serving me my food, my drink, whatever the case may be, like, you gonna catch these vibes. Like, like, because like at the end of the day, like, we believe in making our presence felt, and bringing good energies into the world, and therefore, to that same point, to that abundant lifestyle, the universe is going to receive that and reciprocate it. And so honestly,
Right.
I think the universe paid us over tenfold, for whatever we presented, because like, honestly, like I said, that experience was something for, like, that's something we'll be talking about for ages. Like, like when
Right.
we have that pivotal interview on whatever platform that is, the acceptance of like a Grammy or whatever the case may be, like, that's going to be one of those experiences that like we
Yeah.
end up talking about
Amen.
forever.
Yeah, I think ultimately a lot of people the space between where you are now from then, a lot of people don't think it's worth it. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? It's
Mhm.
like, yo, I may have a it in the bank to do this traveling or in the check, or in my check-ins, and they don't think it's worth it, or they don't think that experience is going to return some level of investment, whether that's experience, knowledge, or any of that. They don't see that, nor do they know that. It's like prime example, my mom, a multimillionaire, but like she's never traveled, and it always blew my mind. I'm like, if there's so much to the world and so much to gain to your personal and your mental, that outside of your box, and it limits you. And so it's just like, there are people such as yourselves, doing well, but it's not, multimillionaire where a trip here, a trip to Dubai is on the menu. You know what I'm saying? And those who are willing to take that leap and go out there and do it and see what this venture will return on the investment, they don't know that it's going to be the gain of their life. You know what I'm saying? Because culture, I know American culture is so it's I don't even know how to describe it, but it's not it. Like you said, you go out to Africa, everybody's in support of each other. There's this communal aspect to it, and then in America, it's to each his own, dog eat dog world. And you wouldn't know that unless you went out. You wouldn't have felt that unless you went out. And so a lot of people are so stuck in that fear of their own, leaving their own box. You know what I'm saying? And you guys are examples of people who took that leap of faith, betted on themselves, and was like, yo, let me check this out. I don't know what's going to come of it, but clearly life-changing experience was the result of it, And that's I think that's where, because I'm always thinking, like, I love these conversations, but like, how do you reach to somebody who don't get it? Or how do you reach to somebody who's not there? And it's like, look, man, take the risk, take the risk.
Well, because something. Go ahead, P.
Well, I was just gonna say, unless you're happy, because I don't think anybody has the perfect, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The blueprint for anybody else to be happy. If somebody is perfectly happy, then doing exactly what you're doing, I don't have no information for you, right? Like, you got it.
If you're a professional, regular nigga, do
it. But most people ain't happy.
A lot of
what I'm saying? So if you're looking for some different type of answers, on how to, like, maybe try to be fulfilled in different ways, that's where, think conversations like this really come in, because most people ain't happy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I was going to add to it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Happiness is a big key.
So, like, I have a question of, like, since we're all like grinding discipline, what do you guys do though, like, to not get burnt out, right? Because, like, if you stay in discipline, you're scheduling your day. Like, how do you reward yourself for all the work you're putting in? What do you guys do to reward yourself for all the work you're doing? Grinding every day. How do you reward yourself so that way you're not burning out?
I don't have the best answer. But what I will say is, like, when I started tapping into the shit that I want to do, the reward is happening in real time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the shit I want to do, and then the doors that are opening are more shit that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So the
experience is the reward.
You see what I'm saying? And then it's creating more experiences. Like my cousin Ray just, went viral. We chop all the time. He went viral. He's opening up, like, and then just me just doing what I'm doing. Naturally, I'm in some of these rooms. Like, he took me to this thing called Fuel Fest that was, like, hosted by Paul Walker's sister-in-law, and Tyrese was there, and Ray was rapping, and I'm just in the room in VIP, like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm here. I'm here.
I barely even posted about it, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I think the reward's been happening in real time, just based off of me leaning into the shit that I actually want to do. So I'd say that it's a lot easier for me to get burnt out at a corporate job than burnt out doing the shit I want to do. So I think that's a piece, but and then just giving yourself grace sometimes, and nigga, lay down sometimes, bro. Take a nap sometimes.
Lay down.
That's the real answer. Lay your ass down somewhere, but that's the biggest piece. the biggest piece for me is picking the shit I want to do though, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you guys?
Zeke?
Yeah, like I mean, same. Like I'm, you know, y'all know I've always been an experienced person. So like experiences are the things that are the most rewarding to me in my book. Self-care is something I'm still coming around to. You know, like
Right.
I think self-care is important. I'm not the best at it, you know, like by any means, you know, like but there's certain things that I'm learning that like, you know, like just um you know, like for instance, like maybe rewarding myself, like I'm gonna go and get a massage, you know, kind of thing. Like I just feel
Right.
like sometimes things like that is just like, you know, like a just because I need to sit my ass down somewhere, but also be like, you know,
Right.
like it might feel good to somebody for somebody to just rub up on me for a little bit, like
Right.
you know. I need to treat myself. I've been working hard out here grinding, you know, like and stuff like that. Like, you know, I need somebody to rub up on me a little bit.
Right.
Like work that kink out in
I
my
feel
neck,
that.
you know, like it feel good. Like, all right, man. Like now, like I said, I'm still not the best when it comes to self-care. I'm really
Right.
not. Like, you know, like
Right.
at the end of the day, like I think the most rewarding thing is just like, you know, like just seeing, you know, the relationships that you build, you know, firsthand, you know, like cuz back to Pete's point, like, you know, we talked about, you know, like in order for opportunity to present itself, you have to be in the room. Like
Right.
so first and foremost, you know, and so to that point that you were talking about, Rich, you know, earlier about, you know, like not wanting to go out and travel and stuff like that. A prime example, we would have not gone to Africa if we didn't go to Europe in 2018. You know,
Right.
like
That's a bar. That's
that's
a
a prime,
bar.
you know, and that's a prime example of like, you know, the when you go out and experience life, you realize how big the world is, but how small it is at the same time. Like
Right.
it's such a like wild paradox. Like, you know,
Mhm.
like
Right.
it truly is like this crazy. And you realize how close 6 degrees of separation really is. It's just like this person knows that person who knows this person, and they know Jay-Z, and it's just like, yo, like that's wild. Like, you know, like. But then this person that we met also connected us to this person who booked us for Africa. You know, so it's just like,
Right.
you know, like you know, just getting out and experiencing and just honestly being present in those rooms and building those relationships, nurturing those relationships, like is honestly the most rewarding thing, man. Like, you know, like I've always been a firm believer in pouring into my people, man, and my network, and that's gonna pay you over tenfold, you know, because
Right.
I genuinely believe that, like, you know, like y'all gonna catch these vibes, which therefore, like, I know the universe is gonna reciprocate those vibes eventually, you know, at some point in life. It may not be tomorrow, may not be 2 years from now. It could be, you know, like, you know, when I'm 67, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, you know, at the end of the day, I know it's all gonna come full circle, you know, but
Right.
I say all that to say, man, like I said, I'm not the best at self-care, but I love these moments, like, you know, being able
Right.
to share these conversations, you know, with the people that I care about the most, and like, you know, like my dogs, like, you know, my family, all that stuff. Like that's what I appreciate the most, you know, and just like taking opportunities to just reflect and share those moments together. Because honestly, like, you know, when we link up and enjoy ourselves, like we be having a time. We be having
Right.
a
We
time. Like,
always,
I think
always,
that's the best way to
always.
reward yourself is go on a
Right.
road trip. That's the
Right.
best way to reward yourself is to go
Thanks.
on a road trip. I'm gonna
Bro
say
trip
that.
for sure.
That's
Bro
the
trip
best
for
way to
sure.
reward yourself.
That's a
Go
Bro
on a
trip
that
for
I
sure.
like that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good
That's a
one.
good one.
That's the
Yes.
best way to reward yourself.
Yeah, that AZ trip was very rewarding.
Yeah.
As far as like just being around great minds, and then just
Right.
vibing, having a good time, and enjoying ourselves with each other. I think like that it just gets you hyped again. You know, you're like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna get back on the train. I'm gonna get back on the horse and get to it and grind even harder, so we could do something bigger next year or something. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
I think one of, you know, like my rewards for myself is seeing what I learn work. Like I get
Yeah.
super excited when the skills that I've learned start bearing fruit, and then I'm like,
Right.
oh, let me learn some more shit. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And I think, and it's funny because I think we're speaking to the entrepreneurial mindset
Right.
versus the employee mindset. Like, you know, I'm a terrible employee. Like, it's only so many times my supervisor could tell me something before I'm like, shut the fuck up, please. Please shut the fuck up. Like,
No, I'm
Respectfully.
I'm
good.
out respectfully. Shut the fuck up.
I'm good. I'm
Like,
good.
you know
I'm
what I'm
good.
saying? I'm good.
Jonathan,
I
what are
would
your 2024 goals with this company? Like, we need to know. Like, you
I
were
don't. I
supposed
don't
to
have
have
one.
your answers submitted 7 weeks ago. We need to know.
Shut the
I don't
fuck
man,
know.
my
up.
bad.
Like,
I've been
that's what my answer is.
look, the holidays, family. I've been busy, but I mean, my 2024 goals. I want to have several contracts in multiple cities around the States. I mean, if I can secure a contract outside of the States, then I would love to do that as far as staffing goes. I mean, I think that's one of those industries. I just want, hey, for the record, this is crazy. You remember a conversation I told y'all back a while back that, I've never cold called any female in my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
You tell, yeah.
Fact, right. This is a fact. So, a few days ago, I had my first business cold call. And I'm going to tell y'all, that was like the most nerve-wracking BS on the planet. But you already know I'm the type of person, I love failure. Like, I'm trying to fail fast. I'm trying to fail forward. I'm trying to like, ooh, dang, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Right.
How can we fix that? And then, next call, and then call after that, and the call after that. And then I'm critiquing myself along the process. And then you get that call that's like, oh, I think I might got somebody on the pipeline.
Right.
Let's push this forward. Let's get this scheduled. Let's get a meeting set. And then I'm hype about that. And that's that reward. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that's a reward for me. But when it comes to 2024, I want to have multiple contracts within minimum 3 states. Minimum 3 states.
Let's go.
We're already coming out there in New York, and
y'all need to stop horsing around, man.
No, we coming out there in New York because we already got like 4 different prospects out there. So I want to link up with them and make some shit happen. And I mean, that's the start. That's the start. And then obviously Texas, Arizona are some other locations that I want to jump on. Texas for sure, because I was just doing some research and whatnot.
Paul building.
And you said what?
No, I just said shout out Paul.
I'm doing some research and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, so nursing homes are underdeveloped, as in the sense that there aren't enough beds for the incoming generations that are aging into nursing and assisted living. So assisted living is pretty big in like travel cities or travel states because people want to retire to nice places. But Texas is also another big one, and I want to jump on all that and start securing contracts, because once these facilities start getting overflown, they're going to need people to staff, they're going to need the staff. And also that industry is the highest turnover rate. And that's why people generally tend to turn to staffing companies for high turnovers. But other than that, I mean, I'm doing the homework. My goal is that. I mean, what we gonna see? All I know is I'm doing the work today. I was doing the work earlier today. I'm doing the work tomorrow, and that's and I'm gonna keep at it until I see all that come to fruition. And yeah. But
shout out Cass. Cass, first and foremost, Cass said Miami. That Miami trip will go down in history as one of the best trips ever. Secondly, he said if you need help with that, bro, let him know. That sales is what he does in staffing and management too. So
okay. Oh, and this is Casting.
Casting.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to link with him because I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn as much as I possibly can about sales. I know, like, I got great interpersonal skills as far as getting to know people, understanding people, know body language, all of that. But that conversion of objective conversation fucks me all the way up. I'm like, we vibed, but I didn't get to sell you my motherfucking product. God damn it. It's like, and then I got to go back. And then I'm like, I was trying to talk to you about my business because I'm doing this and doing that. I know that we linked up and started chopping on. Like, that happens a lot for me. And then I'm like, I need to make this. I got to stay, like, on the task at hand and get out my objective, my goal in the sales. But, I mean, like, I feel like I can be a very impersonable person when it comes to socializing and getting people to like me. Because, I mean, like, a lot of people don't understand that a lot of business is just liking people. Like, business owners have a bunch of salesmen coming at them with the same opportunity, but it's that one guy that they had a conversation with. They were like, yo, I really fuck with this guy. And it just so happens that he also offers that same service. All them other salesmen not getting the job. The
Well,
dude,
tap in with Cass because Cass is in Denver, but also two things
yeah,
in regards to sales, it's about being likable and being approachable, but two, it's also about delivering.
Right.
That's the two most critical pieces to sales, man.
Yeah.
delivering.
It's connecting and delivering, like because you could get that major contract and not deliver, and all of a sudden,
Right.
Yes,
your
yeah,
contract
yeah,
got terminated, like 2 weeks into the contract, kind of thing.
absolutely,
Following,
absolutely.
following through and just coming like delivering on what you said you were going like on whatever that expectation was too.
Yeah.
That's the two most critical pieces of sales, man. I'll tell you that.
As
Yeah.
they say, standing on business. And
Right.
Standing on
is that
business,
the new lingo?
standing
Business,
on
business.
Business,
standing
standing
on
on business.
standing on business.
It's like getting a baddie number. Remind you didn't buy one, you didn't close the sale. You got to buy one.
Come on, you got to close the sale, brother.
Bro,
You got to close.
man, I was having a conversation about that the other day. I was like, I done got some baddies numbers and didn't follow through.
Yeah,
'Cause
you close the sale.
The
Yeah,
money,
bro.
the money's in the follow up, brother.
Your follow through be trash. I'm not
trash.
your follow through is terrible.
You already know. I mean, like, Shorty will run into me and be like, I gave you my number and what happened? I'm like, oh.
Yeah, everything is sale.
Wasn't
man.
that serious, I guess.
It's still you.
It's still you. You still you. All right, cool.
No, it's true because everything in life is sale, bro. You're selling yourself to your employer. You're selling yourself to your friends around. I think sales is
Yeah.
very, very important. Everything is sale because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, if you can like sell yourself, why should? Because at the end of the day, like it's a lot of businesses out there, right? Why should they get you and why should they give you that contract when they can give it to someone else? So it's up to you to like be able to like sell them. Why should she go out with you when she can go out with him? So being able to like sell yourself, be like, hey, I'm bomb. I woke up early this morning. I hit the gym. I'm better than every one of them.
Exactly.
I'm on it.
Exactly.
Be able
Exactly.
to like sell, man. I think it's awesome, bro.
Yeah, yeah. But what do you do? What do you do for reward?
For me, man, I would say lately, I'm trying to like create a time just for pleasure and leisure. And for me, it's like I tell myself, if I can go Monday to Friday, 100%, Saturday and Sunday, I'm just gonna do whatever I want. I'm not gonna have a plan, and I'm gonna get a PS5 for Christmas. So Sunday and Saturday, I'm just gonna like,
That's
have fun,
your
bro.
time. That's your
That's
All
time.
right,
time
now,
to do
now
whatever
let
I
me ask
want.
you this: are you actually going to use that PS5?
That's what I was gonna ask. I was like,
damn well you're not about to use that
Diamond
PS5.
on,
No,
Damn well you're not going to use that PS5.
Time's
but
not gonna be on the
that's what I'm
game,
trying
brother.
to do. That's what I'm trying to do, right? But we'll see. We'll see. It's just so hard. I'm not used to just sitting in one place and just being idle and just playing games. But that's something I just want to like, I was like, hey man, Sunday I'm not gonna have a plan because usually like we talked about, I'm writing down my goals like for the rest of the week. But Saturday and Sunday I'm gonna wake up whenever because I only work out Monday to Friday, right? Saturday and Sunday I'm taking days off in the gym. I'm not working out. I'm not doing anything. So for me, it's like if I can get through 5 days of focus, Saturday and Sunday is just gonna be wake up and just do whatever I want without having anything planned.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, that's
nice.
my goal. That's what I'm gonna do. We'll see. How's that gonna work.
You're a busybody, so I can only imagine that's gonna be hard. So it's like
hard because
I know.
last time and I was like, oh, I gotta read a book. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's 24 hours. We can just sit there and just not do anything. But
That boy Diamond gonna be playing Call of Duty with an audio book on.
With an audio book. Thanks.
Stop playing with that boy, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but before we wrap up, man, like any last things you guys want to share before we like conclude this episode?
Yeah, man, do that shit now, man. Like the whole topic of this is New Year's resolutions, and implementing all them changes, anything that you want to do differently, any improvement that you want to make, successes you want to see fall into place, start implementing that change now. Like there's no need to wait until January 1st until 6 months from now. Like just start doing whatever you can now. Like at the end of the day, things don't have to be perfect. You're gonna figure it out. Like that's the biggest piece of the journey, right? Is just navigating it and just being present in the moment. That's also something I could say since we came back from Africa. That's a big piece. Is just being more present in the journey and just understanding like the vision will always be there, but like being able to appreciate the moment and the journey is something that we got to do each and every day, man. So I would say just do that shit now. Like Nike, baby, just do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Right.
Purpose over problems, bro. Purpose
Hey,
over problems, man.
purpose over
POP,
problems.
hold it down. You know.
POP, hold it
POP,
down.
You know?
hold it down.
POP, hold it down. That's all I got, man. Lean
I
into the
love
shit
it.
y'all really like to do with the people that y'all really like to do it with. Simple as that, man.
POP, come on, Ramond.
POP, hold it down.
I can take it serious. That was more. I love it. POP. Anything else? Anything you want to share, Jay Rich? Anything you
Jay
want to share?
Rich.
Man, it's just, I don't know, man. Just stay focused. It's just focus. It's the difference between the people who got it and the people who don't are the people that are doing it. That's really what it is. It is just,
Right.
and the people who ain't got it, they're just not doing it. And
Right.
you know, it's like, don't be ashamed of where you at. Be focused on where you're going,
Mhm.
because you know, if you like, hey, I'm 34. This is what, my fourth business I'm starting again. I could dive down that rabbit hole,
Mhm.
and that'll only start blocking my blessings moving forward, because I'm holding on to the past. And I think as long as I'm like, you know what, new venture, let's get it. I need to learn this. I'm gonna pick up books to educate myself on this and these areas and that aspect. Do it. I mean, it's just, you can't have an idea and just not. And just not. If you just not, then it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Big
I
bars,
agree.
brother.
I love it. And for me, I would say just get it done, man. It's never gonna be a perfect time. It's never gonna be that perfect time to get in shape. I heard someone say the best time to invest was 20 years ago, and the second best time to invest is now. So now is the best time to just do whatever you
That's
want to
big.
do, man.
That's big.
Never gonna be the right time. Like Manifest Monday. We talked about it and we just implement it, right? Because most of the time we have things that we want to do, but we don't implement things. So if you don't implement anything, it's never gonna get done. So yeah, just let's do it.
Let's do it. 2024.
All right, Jay Rich, thanks for stopping in, brother.
Of
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
course. Y'all
Shout out
doing this
to
every
everybody
Monday,
who came
right?
through today.
Every
Every
Monday, bro.
bro.
Tap in, man.
At
I
what
appreciate you
time?
popping in, Jay Rich, for sure,
What
man.
time?
That was dope.
7 p.m.
7
Yeah,
p.m.
every
Man,
Monday.
I love hearing what y'all got to say. Y'all, it's some beautiful minds on here.
Appreciate it.
That's
Hey,
fire,
shout out
bro.
to Cass.
You
Hey,
included.
Cass, thanks for tuning in, bro. Appreciate the feedback. You know, everything you shared was amazing. Z, Ramond, love y'all boys, man. Talk to y'all soon.
Absolutely. My dogs, man.
Love
All
it,
right,
fellas.
Until next Monday,
all right,
baby. We
all
out.
right, fellas, we out.
Yes, sir.